Okay, Fambulem, I bring warm greetings to una from the TNN TV media empire. Me where they talk to una today, this evening, this sometime, this afternoon, this morning. My name Prince Emil Chroma, and me are the anchor for tonight's program. And hopefully, I will be joined by a co-anchor waking up here then and now on this platform, and our sister Janet Mata Musa. However, today we suppose forget Madam Femi Claudius School on the program. Very interesting program. I know say about cool things a day for talk. No 2 days not the same. We can talk about the same thing that happened yesterday, but there must be an additional thing for add and tap, which happened yesterday, and that additional thing they always knew. Can I also use this moment for apologize to Fambulem for over 40 minutes of delay until I know say other things they need for do, but we dedicated and committed to the services they would do. But when we put out a time out there, we hope for keep to that time. If we're not able to meet up that time day, we equally need for put out a bulletin for tell family and say, for one reason or the other, there will be a delay. And for this, I want to apologize. So like I say again today, we get Madam Femi Claudius Cole, and I expect family for share this video wide and far the few that we don't join. This program is being live streamed simultaneously to YouTube and the Facebook page, TNN. Mentioned in YouTube, make la member. I want to talk this for quite a while now, but I keep they forget. For over 4 months now, YouTube don't stop, that lily way them in the give. Say YouTube will be not meet the threshold, so we be get payment. But for over 4 months, seem like we violate something. We are really not able for no. I don't write them. I not get no response yet. I remember say maybe we'll be do a program on Russia and Ukraine, and I think say the argument was overwhelmingly pro-Russian, both from the guest and the anchor. But probably that's the reason why, or maybe something else they happen we are kind of not realize yet as at this time. But that small thing where YouTube in the pay it don't stop for over 4 months now. And I'm really concerned. And if anybody know how for get to them, how for get to the bottom of it, what's happening, and etc., please let me know. Don't hesitate for get in touch. Once again, today, the 14th of July, 2022, on a host and presenter, Prince Emil Kroma, they come to on live on another heavy program. So, Madam Femi Claudius Cole will join me soon, and there's so much for cover. Thank you so much for tuning in, and keep that dial day right inside a day, not touch up. Yes, Fambulem, this is the TNN TV media empire. And like I say earlier on in the introduction, we get none other but Madam Femi Claudius Cole, who will join me very soon. In the meantime, one last time for apologize to Una because this program is over 40 minutes late, and I'll not be able to put a bulletin out there because I've been get caught up with different work I've been to do. I get caught up in that work day, so I'll not be able to put out an apology to we many followers them, both domestically and globally, for the delay. For this, I say sorry. We get Sister Janet Matamusa, we go also join with for help for anchor this program. But this all important talk who they can get. Let remember saying in our country, there is so much happening right now. And when I say so much and the stress, you can understand say so much they happen. What happen at Parliament, what happen at CID headquarters, women they where they put in a jail, some of them still in a jail. What Madam Femi Claudius Cole they do, whether or not they champion the cause now for them, woman them, and so much more will be discussed. First past the post, yesterday we get a brilliant conversation with a CSO operative, that are the executive director for C4D. We can make we understand in-depth understanding of proportional representation and first past the post, and contextually what they mean in the country. Remember saying that the argument and they now within the ground. On this Sunday, I believe on Sunday, we get another magnificent program where they come. And the thing what they say again is like every time we get new food at the table, every time we get new thing for talk about, and it's not going away anytime soon because we know say to the lead up to elections, there is going to be so much for talk about, so much. So on Sunday, I believe we get a program called Denomination. Denomination. Remember, when we read denomination with we money, the leons, what they call the new leons. We know something them, and we don't know something them, and waiting them we need for know. That's not the program what they can wait on Sunday. But who are putting the we don't know? Let me just bring Sister Janet come inside the program. Okay, Sister Janet, welcome to the program. We still wait for Madam Femi Claudius Cole, but maybe you want to tell family I do, or would they wait for Madam Femi Claudius Cole?
Yeah, hello everybody. I really look forward to this fantastic program tonight. This is going to be belly boiling program. We can't wait.
Yes, and I think say Madam Femi Claudius Cole has just joined the program now. Wait for Leia adjusting camera.
Oh wow.
Beautiful
Okay.
smile. I think she's got on a head tie or some headdress.
Oh wow.
I mean, she looks
Okay.
marvelous. Yeah. So they wait for Leia just in position, and then we'll go and come on Fambulem now. This platform will promise soon and say, will they do something? We really they do them. We mean them. Because why? Yeah, so with the panel, the objective truth, nothing but the truth. So help us God. That's what we do
Amen.
here. Amen. Hallelujah. So
Amen.
Fambulem, like I said again, Sister Femi Claudius Cole, Madam Femi Claudius Cole, it's on the program. I just they wait for Leia adjusting camera. So go be and come live to Una. And as soon as you do adjust and done, Una go see I'm already do introduce the program. Janet, you get anything for the Rob Mottman? Why would they wait for Lady Mami adjusting camera?
Well, yes, it's a shame that we can't see now. They talk about women, and they advocate for women for joint politics at the same time. They don't begin to punish women and for coming out strong and standing up for their rights. I find it a little bit ridiculous. On one hand, you say you want to empower us. On the other hand, you're trying to molest us, if you want to put it that way. I find it hard. But hey, this woman, I love her. She knows that.
Okay. So una hear that? I mean, this is the ever brilliant Janet Musa. On one hand, you say you want to empower the women, and
Yes.
in another hand, with another hand, you are there
Mm-hmm.
abusing them. I
Yes.
mean, you try for figure out what is in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But for help you
Mm-hmm.
understand this today, we get the rising star of Sierra Leone politics. The rising star of Sierra Leone politics. Yeah.
Yeah. We
Championing the
love her.
cause of the women. We
And
talk
we love
about
you.
unity, freedom, and justice.
Yes.
Unity, freedom, and justice. And I hear Sister Janet earlier on, a government will say that they empower the women or want to empower them, but you can't get this wrong. You can't get it twisted. At the same
Mm-hmm.
time, in real time, we see women
Mm-hmm.
have been abused. Not a fact, because we
Mm-hmm.
see real time videos to that. We see
Yeah.
women have been jailed. We see
Mm-hmm.
women have been beaten, tortured, because we've seen the marks again, we've seen the videos.
Yep.
And this is
Yes.
no small feat with the kind of business they are begin for happening now the
Mm-hmm.
country.
Yeah.
Today, we see a demo inside London. We see a demo inside London. We know say certain people, them and the regular people, the same kind of people, them try for dismiss that. I mean, it's funny. I read so
Mm-hmm.
much today. It's so funny that there are real issues which suppose for raise the concerns of every citizen, more so over women, in the country. They invite me for go cover that particular program day today. Unfortunately, I get a bad knee and I could not go out today because of my knee. I would have been more than happy for go cover that. That's what we do. We cover the news, and that was a newsworthy event. We know what happened in the country, and we see what happened in the country. Cost of living is becoming unbearable. Cost of living, I repeat, is becoming unbearable. We make people like Madam Femi Claudius Femi Cole, the champion causes of that kind, where they make them, they get into conflict with the law so many times. But again, Fambule, without much ado, can I use this opportunity to welcome the rising star of Sierra Leonean politics, the new champion for the woman them with the Siam, and I'm not making this up. I'm not making any of this up. Madam Femi Claudius Cole, welcome to the TNN. It's always a pleasure for see you. And once more, despite all of what I've been considered for be the pressures of this new role, where they don't bestow on you, because I'm not thinking that you take a move. I hear some people and they say, now you blah blah blah. No. It's bestowed upon you. And once that calling they come, you cannot bow out, and you've taken up that challenge. But despite all of that, you're still wearing this big smile on this program. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. You know, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And I'm happy, actually. I think yours is probably my first interview, really.
Really?
Since the event.
Wow.
So we have a lot to undo today.
I love this. I will have called it exclusive. And Fambule, I'm a technical team. If you can add exclusive to the title, please. Fambule, I will not continue for shame. Despite the smiling and good-hearted way we're going to have tonight, there are serious things for discuss because there are serious things ongoing in the country, and there's a consensus here that things are not all going well. It's not what we wish for. We wish that we can help, but when people come up for help, they are maligned, they are arrested, they are detained, they are seen as enemies, and this should not be happening. Madam Femi Claudius Cole, we get with Sister Janet Matamusa. We will help for co-panel this program here tonight. A very interesting take for you this evening. I've been promising to say go short, but why don't we cancel elect, but who talk as like just like me? So maybe we'll get for much longer than we promised.
Hi, Miss Janet.
So anyway, yeah.
Hi, Mike.
So anyway, straight to the point.
Before you go far, let the word not come on me more. My brain being other information. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I tell you what, this woman excites me. This woman inspires me. This woman gives me hope, you know, that Sierra Leone is the place to return to, you know, in the near future.
Yeah, exactly. Sister Femi, this is what I was saying earlier on. You see, you're beginning to give hope where hope was kind of fading or had faded. This is it. Yes. Because they need leadership in their role in there, and you are kind of standing up. And this is quite important. And especially, I think the trouble in the country is because our country is a patriarchal society, and then you have a matriarch. Suddenly, you know, they knock chest before they man them, before parliament, and they expose things. But we go talk about them shortly. Welcome once again. I want to begin with, on a more serious note, you know, some time ago, you were invited down a CID. I mean, you've had too many runoff. I wonder whether you're able to keep tab with the amount of time when they don't invite you. But just the one before this one, when you were invited down there, and I think for a few days, can you give us a breakdown or a rundown as to what happened and how we lead to you being invited again and what transpire?
You mean this one will just happen so now?
No, not to this one. Now they say there's so many that we cannot lost count. The one before
was when they were trying to force a census down the throats of Sierra Leoneans.
Yeah.
And some people say we objected to the census just because we are opposition. No, we really take a good close look at what they've been there about for do and realize that they were not, it wasn't a plan that was based on a really solid foundation. And the objections that we raised, it turns out now with hindsight that they were valid. They were very valid. They may not say Russia no more as an opportunity foresee how they can skew the elections in 2023. They told us it was for development, but not to be for development. It was so that they can do exactly what they're trying to do now in Parliament, which is to cut new boundaries, do delimitations, etc. And we smell them early. So the statement I make on an interview in a 98.1, I say, count me not to police case. If you want can me also, I say, no, I don't want to be counted. I'm not committing a crime. I say, and the reason why I object is because your entire process is flawed. It was flawed from the conception, because ever before you begin to do anything but census, you take it to Parliament. You take it to Parliament. Una don't begin, una don't go almost a third of the way through, then you suddenly realize, oh Lord, we haven't done the proper thing. And that is when you take it to Parliament. And I was in Parliament that day. It was almost a fist fight. We were peppered, sprayed and everything. If you're taking a bill to Parliament where they go benefit the whole country, must it end up in a fist fight? But because you know they do things the proper way, and you had to really bulldoze, so that was one aspect of it. The second aspect of it was their preparedness. Because of COVID, with post-COVID, there's no way you could have done a comprehensive, fully prepared census. They went ahead. Who said them for hire almost 1,000 people? They hired a couple of thousand people. Who said them for get iPads? They get for work all over the globe for find iPads. Eventually, the iPads didn't arrive till late. The iPads, when they open up, some man and Nairobi data 9 day. Then the training of the staff was inadequate because the time was short. They say if a job is worth doing, it's worth doing well. And if you fail to plan, you definitely plan to fail, and they failed. So the first survey they locked me in a CID was because of that. And I stood my ground. I said, I'm standing by my statement.
Okay.
And then the day before the counting, we were vindicated by the World Bank. The World Bank put out a press release saying, you are not prepared. Push it to February. But because we have a government that is so stubborn, they went ahead with the census anyway. And I was locked up because I raised a red flag to say what you're doing is trash. And when we look at the provisional results, it is trash. There's nothing there that any part of the globe, any international organization, the World Bank, the United Nations, UNDP, WHO, there's no results there that is tangible that any of them can use. So it's good as just wasting the people's money.
Thank you very much. And I just pick up something I hope I heard you right, saying with the benefit of hindsight, you and others we oppose have been proven right. Are we saying that the census, this census will be called a botched census, and agree with you 110% has been scrapped? It's no longer relevant. Is it the data is not going to be used? Will that be correct?
No, well, right now they are silent. Now, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
The power government being gets plan A and plan B, and they even get plan C. So plan A, when at the census, look don't give them small choke nut vote. They have plan B, which is the electoral bill that they're forcing through Parliament now, whereby they're inside the bill, then slide and they feel to say everybody they sleep. The sedation where they don't give it, will not they get full awareness, whereby they're sliding in proportional representation, a district block proportional representation into the bill. So if all this fails on this side, we go with a proportional block system. So they are clutching at straws. This is a government who knows they have failed the people, and the people have now we are bold to tell them that you have failed us. And all these 99 tactics we now use for win a second term is not going to work. It isn't going to work. And now everybody get the full awareness. And I really say thanks to all una platforms them where really they're able to give you opportunity for explain in detail to the masses, because everybody listens to you guys now. That's why they say people they not get smartphone, they're not they listen. Oh yes, they do. Yeah. If not crowd, then they crowd around a single phone, but yes, then they listen. So they have all these 99 tactics when I the one for use. for win a second term, which you know you don't deserve. And now you're running scared and you're trying to find a way to intelligently rig the elections. We're not going to have it. We're not.
Okay,
We absolutely are not.
You want Rob much quickly on the most recent obstruction, if I go call on that way,
Incitement. My charge was incitement.
incitement. I mean, give us a picture of what it really transpired. When I say a picture, I mean a full-blown picture, because we see video where you pull, where you record inside your own house, and so forth and so on. Only for them we say 2 truck police don't come, police station, invitation, you and Dr. Bright. Let the public know what exactly transpired, please.
Okay, I'll give you a version where straight to the point and the facts. Waiting I give you so now are the facts. There is so much junk out there. Half truths, quarter truths. Some of them have no truths at all. I will call no names. The women came to me. They look around for somebody that they feel that they can bring this issue to. They look around, they called me up. Mommy called, na so. I said, oh. I said, it's not a phone talk. Oh. I said, when I come meet me in my office. They came to the office, and for the first 1 hour, all man they bellyache. Uda na widow we get 5 pikin, Uda na widow we get 10 pikin. How then they struggle with them business, how then they struggle. I mean, they literally just offloaded a whole lot of their struggles on me. Mommy call this trip with the komoto, we want komot. Now I say, number one, I really tell Una thank you that the fact that you looked around and you chose me. You're not members of my political party. Some of them are in parties, and some of them they are no political party. They now woman the way they sell Dovecote, Bombay Street, salad ground. I mean, all over.
Everyday woman there.
Even the market where down me street here, one the woman are from that market day. Then come now say, look, okay, now let me get another meeting. Let me sit down and look at the pluses and the minuses. I said, before ever we do that, I go seek small legal advice to know where we stand on coming. What you mean by coming out? In the one come out, in the one come out. I said, look, let us shape ourselves properly, so we don't end up getting into a confrontation. I said, because this is a government that is shaky. They are scared of their own shadow. If they see their own shadow, to God, then they shoot and kill them. I said, so let us plan properly. I said, me, if you're asking my advice, I said, my advice would be, let us shape it into a prayer match. I said, then let we come together, the Christians and the Muslims. We meet at a central location, where they say go be park, or the grounds where they buy cotton tree. I said, we meet there, and then we have a prayer service. Everybody bought into it. We decided that was the route we were going to go. There are many other organizations that were simultaneously planning their own things, which I did not really know about. Like what the keke drivers and the Okada drivers were planning, whether or not they discussed it with anybody else in my own team, I'm not sure. But I never actually interacted with them. But I saw the audios going around, and I said, you know what? Kudos to you. When you look at what the Okada riders and the Keke riders are going through in Sierra Leone, if they Baranta, then get rights for Baranta. If they say enough is enough, they have a right to say so. Because you go look now any of the petrol and police stations, you see Okada, then pack like say na Okada warehouse, na the Okada factory, that have been confiscated. People's livelihood. If you say, okay, you know one let them ride there, you know one let them ride there, enforce the law and be consistent. But you enforce the law today, you grab them bike, you take money from them, una get the money, una eat them, tomorrow you forget about enforcement. So there's no continuity in enforcing the law. So if you can't ride on Shaka-Stevens Street, you can't ride on Shaka-Stevens Street. And you have a law that will bite, and a fine that is affordable, that they can afford to pay. But when you set a fine that is so ridiculous, it is cheaper for you to bribe the police. You have a breakdown in communication and you have a breakdown in law and order. So you have their bikes are seized. You have days when they go on a mission, they seize all their kekes, and they have had enough. Then self-namota man, they have wives, they have kids, they have responsibilities, they have bills, they get rentals for pay, they get a phone, transport for give, chop money for give. And you do this to them on a daily basis. Then go down hold them at Congo Cross, then Kenya back, they hold them, then go yonder back, they hold them, then go eastern, they hold them, then the police go hold them, then the traffic warden go say, when the police be hold you, win a traffic warden, then self hold you. So if they came out and said, enough is enough, we are going to have a stay at home, I said, kudos to you. Because you can push a man and push a man and push a man till you push him back to the wall, and he has to react. That's not a bone. This Sierra Leone belongs to every one of us. So the women came to me. I said, this is how I think we should do it. And they bought into it. So we planned it. The video you see going around, now what would they practice with praise songs? Those songs were written by the women at that meeting. Unfortunately for me, that day, Naomi Brownlaw died. The day before, Naomi Brownlaw died. So I was, and he died literally in my arms. So I was really devastated. So you see me in the video, not really even participating. I was a bit, but I said, I'm not going to let the woman then down for telling say, I get buried in, I call off the meeting. So I was there. They made their posters, and I'm not going for telling them waiting for rights and then posters. Trust me, stop police intimidation. They know what that means. Stop tribalism. They know what that means. The cost of living, they know what that means. Taxation is too high. They know what that means. They don't need Miss Claudius Cole to feed them that. They don't. So they wrote all their placards, and they were determined that they were going to march. And we had a plan that if police can all we all just say, sit down, Nagron, and we open a moment of prayer. Papa God, Epsilon. Papa God, Epsilon. Papa God, Duya, Epsilon. What's our theme? So when that video they go out, they decided that we were a danger to the security of the state, that these women and their praise songs were going to be a security threat. And arresting Miss Claudius Cole, guess what? Would solve the problem. So I was invited to CID. I said, for what? Oh, for incitement. I said, sure, no problem. I will come there with my lawyer. No, Miss Claudius Cole, you have to come now. And I said, no, I will come with my lawyer. Before I had done that sentence day, my house was surrounded. This was the scene you expect to see when I catch Osama bin Laden. This was the scene. It looked like a war front in my house, my compound, and then you have an officer standing in my porch, on my property, telling me I cannot film him. I said, sir, you have the priority to leave. My gate is open. You have my gate wide open. You can leave if you don't want to be caught on my camera. But trust me, the whole world is going to see what's happening right here. Take me to CID. They were under a lot of pressure. Everybody put them under pressure. People all over the world put them under pressure. International communities too put them under pressure. People put out press releases. And the injustice of it was glaring. Glaring. Even when they were doing my interrogation, they say me they promote tribalism. I say, Papa, OPU, yes. OPU, yes, let you hear this thing. No tribalism, na salon. Papa God, Epsilon. I said, why do you want to put words in my mouth? When there is an audio and you have video that can be taken to the court. Oh, and you are writing placards. I said, yes, we were writing placards. Do you know what the placards were saying? Free education
Let me just step in quickly, Madam Claudius Cole. This whole argument about you having a meeting in a private space, you having a placard in your private space, all of those things, they're not breach no law. These are your private space that you day. You know, This is the argument I have raised, and at the time for educate people. The law say you sit in a public place, you dey make noise, or there is a procession, you dey walk from one street to the other and do all of these things. Yes, you not get permit. Yes, you are in trouble. But when you are static, when you are in a private space, you not commit no crime at all. You haven't offended anyone. So that was what I was looking at. And thankfully we get lawyer, what's his name now? I mean they're on AYV and he made a
Adi Macaulay,
clarification. Adam Macaulay.
lawyer Adi Macaulay.
Yes, Adam Macaulay made a clarification between
Yes,
procession and assembly. And a lot of Sierra Leoneans I have come to understand they don't know the difference between a procession and an assembly. That these are two different things. Assembly means to say, look, where Madam Claudius Cole say, we together now one place. We they sing praise songs. We don't need to move on one place. We don't need permission for that. You don't need permission for that. So this is what we're trying to send across to all Rwanda where they say, well, it broke the law. No, she didn't. Even I else. This is a private space. I can do anything I want in my home as long as what I do in my home, not harm my neighbor. The neighborly principle. But this is not what happened here. It was a peaceful meeting. People were there, hanging heads together to do what they wanted to do. I am just saying that, if I tell you, say, inspire me, I'm not using the word inspire because I want to let you feel otherwise. But I'm saying to you, what you do so go open doors. And it go open doors that way you not believe, say, you go able open by yourself. I can tell you this for free. Because there are a lot of women who are now ready for return to that homeland what we call Sierra Leone. To go stand up for whoever is in power. If they want abuse, we right. Our civil liberties cannot be tampered with. And this is your belief. And this is what I am standing by you. Because you know the law, you understand them. Anybody who wants to step on waiting, the Constitution gave us this right to use them. Why the police that they give permission is what baffles me. This right is embedded in our Constitution. Therefore, one for protest, therefore give we license and they permit. Then they agree to them. Why? They have not been able to explain this properly. These are the challenge what we don't get out here. And we're writing to our MPs. I get a particular MP, I'm not calling them, but we don't write to them. I want them to be able to help us, to ask the government, or the police as to why, because the law then where they get that alone, and the same law that we get Ayasu. We say the police then get a duty. It is a duty, ma'am, that the police then get a duty for protect protesters, for giving permission for protest. As long as, there's no danger to the lives of others. And they're
Yeah,
what they're going to
absolutely,
do.
absolutely, Janet, and you are absolutely right. And Madam Femi Kolek, I've been to tell you, she takes it personally. And again, na woman, and the plight way you go through, now something we really get to her, and we don't talk about this, so I can understand the emotion that she's pouring into this. And somewhere along the way, the people the way they affect them kind of thing there, they need to be challenged, and that's what you are doing. I know say you don't explain this story to me about the inside waiting actually occurred. And a lot of people, and it's good when you do it because now social media suddenly you they begin hearing all kind talk. Some of them perpetuated by people and we want the real, yeah, story. But thank God we get you on the platform. And like you say from the beginning, a lot of people, 99.999% of people, they get smartphones. So as things they happen now, then they hear them automatically. But just a quick one before Sister Janet come in again. There's a lot of people, where as well they say, in fact, now a tiny minority, where they say Femi Claudius Cole just want seek the limelight. Femi Claudius Cole now use then they use politicians then they use them then they say what do you say to these people? Because I sure say you don't see some of them right up there in their video then they.
Oh, I don't see quite a good number, and it is amazing because, but I want to really answer your question in depth and honestly. But let me just clarify one quick section. Now, COPP put in an application to march. COPP did, with MPs and councillors. It is totally separate from what the women wanted to do. And my interactions with the women was between myself and the women. It wasn't a COPP affair. Dennis Bright knew nothing of it. And I knew with the determination of the women, and I know that COPP is critical come 2022 elections. COPP and whatever coalition emanates from it is critical. I did not want to endanger COPP. So I deliberately kept everybody in COPP in the dark. So it came as a shock to them in COPP. This needs to be clarified. It needs to be clarified. I have nothing to gain from lying to the Sierra Leonean public. Nothing. So when Dennis Yeri said, and they front me us, he was shocked. So he did not even know why. He rush came. Now when he came, now that's said Dennis no. Said the woman they want come out. And was trying to convince me to go to CID. I said, Dennis, I am not going to go until my lawyer comes. Now he said, well, let me go ask what it's all about. This is the truth, nothing but the truth and the whole truth. As I stand on my own grave. When he reached there now, they arrested him and he spent 5 days for something that the man was clueless about. Nobody knew about it except me and the Makitumande. So let us get that part clear. Yes. Then there's all this talk of me being manipulated. Those people who say then they manipulate me, obviously do not know me. Go to my Twitter page and read what I post, and you will know that I have an opinion of my own, and I am passionate about Sierra Leone. Very passionate. Some say I'm looking for position. And the beauty of not having a position is when you don't pay me, you can't fire me. I can tell you the truth straight up. Do I have political ambition? If I didn't, I wouldn't have run for president in 2018.
Yes.
Do I think it should only be me? No. Will I support any strong woman, any strong man? Yes. Do I believe in a coalition of political parties coming together? Yes. So in the interest of that, I feel overprotective of COPP. I am the chairperson of COPP. I was chosen not just by them in that room. I swear to anything, I was chosen also by God. God give me this load, but guess what? He give me kata.
Absolutely.
He give me kata for total. So for those who think I can be manipulated.
No, you cannot be manipulated. I just want to ask you a simple question, madam. You know, this journey, until today don't start. I have spoken to you long before we came on social media. You know, and what I want to say to you, and what I want to ask you before I say anything is that when you start this work here, where did you think this was going to take you? Are you view I mean, before you like I was on I told you what my ambition was. Say I was left for go salon and do the things that you are doing. But then I said something to you, to which you laughed. I said, I'm not getting strength where you get. You know, not physical strength, but the emotional intelligence where you get. Me not get them. And I'm not get that heart to be out there to do the things that you are doing. So I'm asking you, who say you they pull all this strength care we get so for do what you they do so where they inspire other women?
Okay, I want to tell you, I want to digress as I answer your question.
Yes, please.
Let me digress.
Yes.
And it will go towards helping you get it where I come from.
Yes.
In my spirit comes from. Yesterday, somebody sent me one Dr. Kaloko in audio. And I was listening to it. It cost me I mean, and I'm listening to this, and they talk about how na money me wants, how they pay me, I think $80,000. How, I mean, it enter me. It enter me big time, and I'm listening to it.
Yes.
And I think to myself, say, wow, this is a man that has never, ever met me.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know me. He doesn't know what makes me tick. He doesn't know how I was raised. He doesn't know what I own. He doesn't know if me na the individual will get satisfied mind, if me na that individual will greedy. I have a staff of over 50 people, and anybody can talk to any one of them. Nurses, we have nurses over 30, 40 years service. Call any one of them, ex-nurses, retired nurses, any one of my staff. Call them a corner, say, tell me about this woman. And then go on media and then talk about me. So in the middle of this conversation, which is the crux of my explanation, my phone rings. My phone rings.
Mm-hmm.
And a lady calls me. I have never spoken to her. She's an 86-year-old senior citizen of Sierra Leone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I don't have her permission to call her name.
Yes, we respect that.
She said, Femi, I took your number about 2 days ago. She says, I've been meaning to call you. I just want to tell you that I am 86 years old. I wish I could have been there with you, but I don't get the foot. I said, but let God bless you for all that you do.
Mm-hmm.
We support you and we're praying for you. This conversation came in the middle of me listening to Kaloko.
Yes.
And then she proceeded. I said, when they talk, me ear all na me body they rise. My hair, the hair on my head, my skin was standing at end.
Mm-hmm.
When the mommy don't talk done, they don't pray for me done. Now I say, ma'am, I said, this is totally amazing. I said, you have called me at that particular time. It can only be God.
Yes.
It can only be God. And it can only be divine intervention. That I am listening to all this negativity that has no bearing on who or what I am. And this lady, 86-year-old lady, calls me. She's had my number for 2 days. And she calls me at just that critical moment when my spirit could easily have been down.
Yes, broken.
And you know what she asked me? She said, so are you going to continue listening to it? I said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I said, your conversation has lifted me up so way above it. I switched it off.
Yes.
And it's like I say, where God wants to say to you, look, God doesn't come down himself. He uses people. And it does sound like where God just say, Femi, you don't listen to all this crap. Well, now let me tell you the truth. Let me show you the truth. That what you're doing, you're not a corona grown. I am here, I have your back, and I will support you.
Yes.
So it is that spirit, it is that determination that Sierra Leone can be good. It should be good. And by God, it will be good. Even if I don't get to the end with all of you.
Please,
but
God,
somewhere along the line, no, history go judge to say there was an individual who tried. And for me, it's like this. Some of us are so blessed. We literally are born with a silver spoon stuck in our mouth. I go FSSG at a time when FSSG was a good school. I went to England and I went to private school. But guess what? My parents never let us know. We never knew that our parents were wealthy. Never. They made us so grounded that stay to marry today and they buy junks and they wear junks proudly. And me picking self, I don't indoctrinate them and the thrift in America. So I am coming from a different place that a lot of people just cannot fathom. What gives Miss Claudius call her drive? What gives me my drive is when I walk into Connaught Hospital and I see a hospital.
Yes.
And I see doctors and nurses treating patients like human beings.
You're a people
When I go
person.
to school and I see libraries and I see computer labs and I see kids competing with their Nigerian counterparts and their Ghanaian counterparts.
Yes.
For those who think I'm in it for position, yes, I want to be influential.
Yes.
I want to sit
change
at
lives.
the table of power.
Yes. Yes.
When you say you want to make person A for be Chief Justice, I say no, sir. When you say you want to make person B be Minister of Finance, we able for say no, sir. We engage, we say no, sir. Or we say yes, sir. Beautiful choice, sir.
Yes.
I want to be seated at the table of power. I make no secret of it.
Yes.
I make no secret of it.
Yes.
But they say you dey drag the woman for let you fame. Do you know what comes with popularity and fame? I am discovering that it is not an easy cloak to put on.
No. You know, I just want to bring this to your notice. There is this singer we've been under now. It say in the flower or plant where they come through the concrete floor. I want you figure that out. The floor covered in concrete, but
Yes, ma'am.
there is a flower that sprouts out. That's who you are. Remember, I said that to you. That's who you are. That flower that sprouts through the concrete floor. Because I tell you what, you know, I don't want to cry, but that day I cried. I cried because we don't have so many women like you in Sierra Leone. I am out here because by the time I cover my own skin. You know, I told you that before in private, but I should have been out there. So I'm just saying to you, you are an inspiration. You are going to open doors for other women. If we are afraid, we should no longer be afraid because you have undergone something we were not expecting, and we will follow you to wherever you go. Remember, I told you this. You are that plant that came through the concrete floor. Don't cry. I want you to understand that. And I want you to know we are going to be behind you 100%. And we love you.
And you know, that flower, the flower under the concrete, there's so many people pushing that flower up. Well, the women, the market women, they deserve as much accolade as I receive.
We love them too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were brave. They were bold. They were hurt. They were beaten. They were humiliated. They slept on the floor 2 days, Nacelle. And they came out stronger. They came out braver. Now then they push the flower up, ma.
Yeah.
The flower, no, they can't up by itself.
Yeah.
There are so many hands. Right now, we're pushing the flowers up.
Yes.
And if change is to come to Sierra Leone, trust me, the women are going to be crucial.
Yes.
Yeah,
crucial.
You absolutely
and you know, Prince, before you come in quickly, when we talk about the market women, I think about the market women of Liberia.
Yes.
you know, Prince, I spent my youthful days in Monrovia. You know, when I was 20, I left when I was 24. And I know for sure, you know, women, whether they are market women are women. When we want to do something, we'll do it wholeheartedly. We are dedicated. We are committed. And we do it with love. And that day we see the woman them, when they arrest them, we watch all those things. Yes, them. Yes, I see that woman when they're knocking her head. You know, who's that? You know, with it's only 3. It's Shiva. He said, Nani, why are they doing that to her? I couldn't explain it to her. Because I don't know if I go hurt her. But I did cry. And she asked me, why are you crying? I said, I am crying because I want to be where those women are.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe we lost Sister Janet in audio, but the two women are absolutely right. If change is to come, the woman then get for dinner the vanguard of the struggle. This is the case in every other country that they participate strongly, and are the sacrifices I believe that they are
They are
making
making.
at this critical time. Um, but Femi Claudius School is a very important evening, even though it's light-hearted and we recount some story them. But there is important work for do, and you've been doing quite well. I want to take you back to Parliament in recent days. Um, yeah, there is a video of you where went absolutely viral. And when I say absolutely viral. I don't know what I take that video there, but this video is of you once again exposing the system. I don't know if person they not understand that. I wonder what else will they ever understand. In other words, make us see whether I can make sense of this. So the establishment lay down a rules or
Yes,
rules.
yes.
They
New
say,
rules.
yeah, new rules, by the way.
Mhm.
They say before you declare, now so thing you get for do. You get
Mhm.
for get so, you get forget this, you get forget that. With all of that, as a law-abiding citizen, there is no if and but about that because that's exactly what we see you do in a video. You went about fulfilling then things that they went and ask for say before you can this is what you need for do. Only
Yes,
for seeing that the video that you were being rejected. You know what I look at on the video as well? I see the police the way they stop you. They look like people that when they give order and they're not really mean and they not look no vicious towards you, nothing of the kind. That's what I was looking at. They were only carrying out probably mere
order
orders
from
from
above.
above. Take me through that scenario there because this was you physically there. I will play the video for the family and see shortly.
Yes. So they put all these new rules. Now, you know what I say, and I said it on that day, is that if you're going to pass something that's beneficial to the public, you want the public to buy in. You want public participation. Look, the House of Parliament is the House of the people. It is. It's nobody's personal property. MPs will come and MPs will go. Speakers will come and speakers will go. And the House remains the House of the people. And the public gallery is so named because it is the public gallery. They put in new rules because they want to control who comes and who doesn't come. Now, the Tuesday before, there was raucous in Parliament. Waiting them in the ally inside Parliament. Madabio, Madabio. Now, have you ever heard that in a House of Parliament?
No.
So, who were those that caused the trouble that day? Were they opposition members? Or were they Madabio supporters?
We still wait for that report there, and from the circumstances where they paint so, if not being the other people, then the other people are not going to sing in the name of the president.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
And not a video. The video is out there. It's public viewing. So you then put in rules. Say we for apply online, which I did. And once I had finished my application, guess what I did? I screenshot them. I screenshot the form. I get it on my phone. I get my pass. You then put in, get this, a dress code. You put in a dress code. We're not a ball with a go, not over dinner and dance with a go. We're going to listen to you pass a bill that's going to affect all of us. You put in a dress code. So I wear me Africana. Not to nobody business if I want for wearing black. If I dey for money, I go money. If I wish for money, I go money. And nothing say black is going to be outlawed, except if they have a new bill that they're going to pass in Parliament, forbidding us to wear black. I reached the place now, and I was flatly denied entry. And as I understand it later, leader of the opposition even made calls to try to get me to be admitted. Now, why did I turn back? The crowd, first of all, I tried for pass up by Cotton Tree. You know, there are two roads. Yeah. One, they come up from State Avenue, the other. We tried both routes. They say no. They say that road, and then after that, they walk in a State House. We all for come model. So around now, come back now model. Now remember, say Miguel for the go sign now CID 10 o'clock every morning.
Oh dear.
So if I not Miguel for go sign now CID for 10, like I reach Parliament for 9:30 because I know say then get forget issue.
Yeah.
Pass now can round. Imagine the traffic na model, and they flatly refused for me to enter. Then the crowd now don't model. Were advocating on my behalf. There were people there that I knew, people there that knew what had happened, and they were up in arms. They were upset. So I noticed the situation was getting tense. One person will sabi me, almost one gets into it with one police officer. Now I say, you know what? Somebody can easily get hurt. People will get, then go beat people them, like say then they beat, then the one kill snake. Now I say, Femi, just leave. So I left, moved down the road a little bit, where I talked to people then, and my message to them there was, una know it me get for tell una, it's very simple. September, una register. I beg. You know the campaign. Una simply register. So the choice, the power of the choice, the power of the vote will be in your hands. I say una register. I beg. Then we take all this negative energy and pour it into registration. Call your neighbor, call your paddy, call your cousin, call your sister, call your auntie. Say una, let we go register. Buy water for them if you can afford it. Buy biscuits for let them cham na line if you can afford it. And woe betide nakra. Woe betide neck if they are not prepared to handle the crowds that will want to register come September. Una go dey watch me, we go dey live na Facebook.
And you know the other thing again, madam, Femi Claudius, you know, somebody tell me today say we when we give people in power, and the people and give the president the power for their side. So the people and remove and consent. Say you can withdraw your consent by going to vote and voting him out legitimately. You know, I wrote that on my Facebook, and I get one or two people that will come back and say, "Oh, you know, Confucianist."
No, it costs me on a daily basis. Now the cost for me now like oxygen. The cost.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, what it wouldn't stop you from being who you want to be.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. The cost in and on. Go on my Twitter feed.
Oh, I read that. And when I follow you on Twitter, so I read all of that. Yeah.
When I want to relax, I respond to them.
Yeah.
As a form of relaxation.
Okay. Thanks again for painting that picture. Fambule, just a quick reminder. This evening, of course, from his side, is the 14th of July. It's a Thursday evening, 2022, and we are hosting the rising star of Sierra Leonean politics, Madam Femi Claudius Cole. As soon as you part of the story, because the story not done yet too, we'll get things that we will need for cover, but at least she's giving us an inside picture of the things that will happen quite recently in perspective, generally how we see things and things that will physically happen to her. Like we say again, they invite her a CID on the last two occasions. They don't give you a clear picture as to what happened, what lead up to that. Now we don't really say they go sign in 10 o'clock every morning. And I believe say you're not being charged nothing. You just they go sign in every morning. Maybe now some form of punishment for being a kind of delinquent, if you don't mind. Anyway, Madam Femi Claudius Cole, on a more serious note, on the country as we speak, There's been an argument in Parliament. Okay, we don't lost Madam Femi Claudius School, so now they chamot with Sister Janet. So when I hear Sister Janet's story, and I believe say one use the occasion as well for pay homage to the late Madam Yumkela, I believe.
Yes,
If that's the case, you are live, Madam J.
yes. You know, it's a difficult time for every Sierra Leonean we come across them. And there's one thing that came through where it really touched me when Dr. Kanda Yumkela said there wouldn't have been any Kanda Yumkela without a Philomena. I mean, what a lesson we learned there. What a lesson. I mean, it just touched me so much that in as much as we've lost her, you will take a lesson from their life and know, say, yes, she was a support system. And I hope, say, you know, as she goes home tomorrow, you know, we not forget her. We know, say, she worked hard as a woman to support children and to support the vulnerable.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. And we will not pay homage. Probably Madam Femi Claudius Cole go and say something or pay a tribute, a short tribute to the memory of the late Philomena Yumkela. Madam Femi Claudius Cole?
Yes, I met her on a couple of occasions, and one thing that really beautiful, graceful lady, and they actually attend the program tomorrow na City Hall, and I definitely they go honor and attend the funeral.
Thank you
And
so much.
Kanda is a friend, and I know how devastated it has been for him and the family. So, you know, we're going to give as much of our support as we possibly can, and her memory will be a blessing. It really will be. I know the NGC is really devastated, and, you know, wish them peace. And it's not easy losing somebody with that kind of a drive and that kind of a personality. I met the daughter too, another beautiful young lady coming up. I just wish them all the best. I wish them all the best.
Thank you so much. May her soul, you know, rest in perpetual peace, and may light forever shine on her.
Amen.
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 I also want to use the occasion for Inform Fumble and say I was also saddened, or this platform was also saddened about a message we received on yesterday, I believe, or the early hours of this morning, that another big politician in the person of Dr. Richard Conte himself also lost in Kane, he lost in Bobo.
Lost his son.
Yeah, exactly. So we
Oh
might,
my God.
yeah. Can I use this occasion on behalf of the platform and the guests whom I can see also showing some sympathy, you know, yeah, to the announcement on the loss of Dr. Richard Conte's son. We hope the doctor will remain strong because there's work ahead to be done. Notwithstanding, can we use the occasion to express with deepest and profound condolences to Dr. Richard Conte at the loss of his son. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you very much.
He can't find me na CID.
Really?
He came and yes, and he gave me the warmest hug and keep your chin up, Femi. We're supporting you. So that's another devastation for us. It's really losing a young son, a young child. It's really hard. It's really hard going for the parents.
Yeah.
Our heart really goes out to him and to the mother too.
Amen. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, Madam Femi Claudius Cole. So one go back quickly in Parliament on waiting transpire inside Parliament these few days. I know you touch on a little bit, but the way how you put them, if I can make to this analogy, like say the one was we face go up, because you say they introduce something.
They really want to face go up.
I don't know. Now, a question I mean they ask.
No, na good analogy, Danny.
Okay. So inside,
the one stupid way.
So inside waiting the bring kind of Parliament, they seem for embed other thing inside it and try to discuss one thing with another embedded on the inside. So Can you talk us through, because you're a person way very versatile with waiting you go on, you quite clued on. Can you talk us through what exactly you mean by that? What like the bring kind of parliament and take we through this proportional representation and first past the post? And in your opinion, what do you think say? I mean, it's quite a loaded question, but I know say you can handle all. What do you think say is best for the country?
I think there's so much danger up ahead in terms of the 2023 elections. Now, let me look at some of the things that they want to pass. One, they want to make it mandatory, make it a condition for you for register in September to have a NIN number, the NIN number. Now, yeah, we all sit down when NACRAB they do that registration day when we saw all the problems. They had issues with, they couldn't manage the numbers. Some people walked away and left and never registered. They had issues with their equipment, their computers. People were not captured. They had people that were turned away. We not get supporting documents, you not get passports, you not get birth certificates. And there are many of such people. Even when they come with their chief, they come with elder, there were issues getting people to get their NIN number. Now, as it stands now, go to NACRA, go to NCRA. I have their videos on my Facebook page. Go see the kind crowd where they did. For let people are able to register even now. And the registration is very much centralized. They say they'll go make a way all over Freetown can do it. So far, that has not happened. You want to make a NIN number a prerequisite to register for voting. You automatically disenfranchise thousands of people. When I go there September for go register, now that any man go no say, what's in a NIN number? I don't know what you they talk, I not get. Some man don't lost their own. That is dangerous. These are all strategies that they're putting in place. They are thinking to skew the election. Then you want to give the choice of the president now having a choice of either we're voting by first past the post, the constituents vote for their parliamentarian, they know who is contesting, they know why they are selecting you, whether now you they help them, when you can go cry there, whether now you this, or when now you help do this, or when now you help do that, so they know why they're voting for you. There is a cultural and a social bond that is created between that person and that constituent in most cases. Whether it is based on the good you do, or whether it's because you are like all over the place, everybody knows you, and you are there for everybody, whatever the reason is, there is a bond, there is a connection. They want to break that bond and have you now vote for your party. You are no longer voting for somebody that you can relate to, who can either earn or lose your vote come the next election. The party is what you're going to be voting for now. And then the party now has the power of selection. Now we see the APC got into a lot of trouble over selection versus election. And now we see you want to take the whole country away from election to selection. And where are the gray areas? The gray areas now with this block PR system is that you are introducing an element of potential corruption. Those who get sababu, those who have the financial clout, they are happy on the fact that they will have more qualified people in parliament. The constitution asks for qualifications, sir. The qualification says to be able to speak and be understood in English. You now want to add all these layers between the people and their representative. where history has already shown us what can go wrong with this district block system. And it was used at a time when there were no constituencies. You now want to use your flawed census results to create new constituents, new districts. Once new districts are then created, it automatically means your constituencies are all wrong. So you now have a state where we have no constituencies. You have now created an artificial problem. Once there are no constituencies, you now have to cut constituencies. You then claim there's no time to cut out constituencies, and you then use the PI system, which you have just passed in Parliament, which you are trying to pass in Parliament, where the law said where there are no constituencies, that was when you use the PI system. This is the 38 and 38A where they cause all this confusion. And it says, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And even if you decide you want to repair it, why are you repairing it when you have 39 days to the election?
Not enough time.
Yeah,
there's not enough time.
Around the corner.
The elections are upon us. They are already upon us. Then you look and you think to yourself, so why the rush? I am not saying that. Then they say PI system will favor smaller political parties, but that depends on the threshold. If what they are planning is a 30% threshold, then automatically you kill every single small party. It will be a race between the two big political parties. Is that your wish? Is that inclusive politics? Is that inclusive democracy? When other countries that have PI, okay, you're telling us about the 80 countries in the world that have PI. Okay, fine. PI is a beautiful system. Let us have the elections. As soon as elections are done, let us now take a very good look at PI and plan for PI. Sensitize the public about PI. Have everybody buy in the idea of PI. But this one where you want Russian through the back door, you haven't ironed out the kinks, my dear sir. Right now, you go to bank, money no day. I went to the bank to make a withdrawal. I go meet people in a bank, one man one pay in house rent. He said na 2.5 million no more than Giam. Not enough for pay in house rent. He stood there distressed. There's not enough money. Somebody they cost me na Twitter say, wait till me they talk. Of course, the bank know almost money there in circulation, almost money there for order. Yes, if they're thinking and if they're planning, you now have launched, make all this fuss, waste all this money, launch the money, and then there is no physical cash. And the bank puts out a press release stating that nobody can withdraw more than, private individuals no more than 30 million and businesses no more than 100 million. In a cash-oriented society, we don't get card, we don't get credit card. We don't get credit card now. Now cash would do 90% of our businesses. That tells you that they have failed to plan. So
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Femi, around the same subject matter, if you don't mind. So this proportional representation, where the government apparently they try for introduce, do you feel threatened by that system? And what you make una think say this system not go favor the other political party them, only the government?
It will only the contest will be between the APC and the SLPP.
Okay,
depending because of the threshold. They're not looking at a 2 to 5% threshold. They're looking, in fact, they want NEC to be able to mandate the threshold. And if you leave it to NEC, guess who you're leaving it to? The executive.
So why then, if the APC itself is going to be advantaged by this PR system, in other words, smaller party, we understand the grievance now according to you, because they will be disadvantaged. But the APC of course, now bigger party and the SLPP, they will go at it. Why is the APC, although you're not an APC person, but you go know politically speaking, why they say they complain?
Because everybody favors a relationship with your constituent than a selection from a party hierarchy. Do you see the problem that can be introduced by it?
I'm following.
Because it then becomes a selection process, which is dangerous. Because imagine me powerful, I get money, I'm the biggest spender, and my name will be on the list for number one. And then you now you young constituent, maybe you have worked hard like a jackass to get votes for your constituents, for your constituency. When the election happens, as happened before, the last time it was used, some man will walk like dog now in constituents, their name was not even on the list, never went to parliament. Even though that was the person favored by their people, they never made it on the list to go to parliament. And
So,
their political parties.
Madam Claudius, so let me, something you've just said now, where even me, when we listen to this argument at parliament, I really didn't get it right until you don't put her, until you don't spell her out. Prince, you got to be honest at all times. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if I couldn't grasp it at first, that first understanding, imagine the people and waiting at the constituencies, they will be lost. And I think,
Yes.
Madam Claudius, you know what? You are a mouthpiece. You are teaching these people, waiting they not understand, waiting they not sabi, waiting to confuse them. You are clear for them. And I think this is the reason why they don't want you in the system, because they feel to say you're the open, and you're an eye opener, and that's what you will continue to do. So now when Mr. Teddy listen to you now, and I understand where the crumbs will be, where the crumbs will be. In other words, if the way Madam say, if you're not possibly get big name, you don't really need for do nothing, because you get the money, you can influence, you can buy, you can bribe.
You basically buy the seat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Madam Femi Claudius, cool. So
and that corruption can be in even a small party too.
Yes.
Yes.
Big parties and small parties. And we don't see it happen. Some man go parliament and last way they use PI, where the party people were shocked. Who said this man come out where in them there on the list?
Not
do your
research. Yeah.
Okay. Quite interesting. And Sister Janet, you get the next question, obviously. I just be on the verge for reintroduce the show. Fabulem again, a warm greetings from the TNN TV Media Empire. Coming to you live this evening. It's none other but the rising star of the Sierra Leonean politics, Madam Femi Claudius Cole. And I am one of the hosts on this evening program. My name is Prince Emil Koma, and the other host, Sister Janet M. Musa, where I believe she gets a question for Madam, or an opinion or something.
Yes.
Madam Femi Claudius Cole, fire away, please.
Yes. Madam Claudius Cole, within the baffle me is the idea of parliament. And another thing to say, we entire country understands the importance of the legislature. For say the quality of people away for days and we for able to drive the laws in our country, the way go protect the ordinary person from the state. I think a lot of people don't understand this prominence of parliament. They don't look like a cook place, anybody can just wake up in the morning, you go hungry. Now make you go find out, you go meet people where they say, Madam, but Madam, how you want to address the people where they inside parliament? And how would you people they don't lack, whether they understand the sovereignty of parliament or they don't? Which is which?
Well, let me remember, say, after the 2018 elections, one party had the majority. A man will get 400 votes, and a man will get maybe 13,000 votes. The man will get 13,000 votes was unseated, and the man will get the 40 votes was placed in parliament. And you have about 10 of them. So you know exactly where those people who say the loyalty lie. So they are going to do everything, even if they themselves might lose their seats with the PR system. But they have to have allegiance
Yes.
to the executive. But you know, I beg, I want to digress from with una small back.
Yes, please.
The chairperson of Tonkolili district for the APC has also been arrested.
Yes,
and I
that.
visited her in CID today.
Oh,
Madam Yabom Sise.
Yes.
Where I go, I ask her, I said, you are waiting, you do, waiting are you charge? I think it's the same incitement. I said, well, incitement now should be. And provocation,
yes,
provocation, and riotous conduct.
I see.
This is an election that you have lost. The SLPP lost. The new MP has already been inaugurated, or whatever they do to MPs has already been done.
Yes.
So all intents and purposes, this was a relatively peaceful election. We say thanks to the observers who were all over the election like whites on rice. Why now are you struggling to cry foul? Why now have you removed the woman from her district to humiliate and embarrass her in CID? When the woman then go grab, say we they get her back, then una go say we incite. We are now working on the principle of the NGC, touch one, touch all. With the woman, they will not answer now.
Yes, Mr. Number answer out there. Oh, yes.
We don't answer.
Oh, yes.
So we tell the government, I want to send a specific message. Do you and a beggar they beg? The commissioner for
and then they watch you, you know. They are watching now as we speak.
Now listen. And that day, what other important part from this story they will forget to tell you. Madam, a woman that I have high respect for, I will say, I'm not going to forbid that woman where they cry another woman down. I can never do it. Papa God forgive me. But I must say the truth.
Yes.
She came to my house for convince me for call off the match.
Yes.
In the middle of me under siege, we really couldn't have a proper conversation. We really didn't. But I heard a different interpretation on 98.1. So I want to appeal to Madam Samai again that you have arrested an innocent woman again under silly and flimsy charges. The women are not happy, Madam Samai. The women are not happy. Stop the intimidation of our women. We no get for ledom and from die. Now beg with a beg. Tomorrow, una go hold me back, say na incitement. Engage the women and engage them now. Una get the presidency, yes. Una listen. The woman they not happy, they don't come meet me, they don't tell me. And me, Femi, I no get for come up behind them. I no get for come up behind them. Lonta, a word to the wise is quite sufficient.
Femi, thank you so much for that. Again, Fambulem, we are having Madam Femi Claudius Cole, and it's a brilliant conversation. It's almost like a tell-it-all. So when they read the story then from the horse's mouth, like the British man they say, the horse in mouth self now they read the story from. Then you know where his story and just known on social media, and then you say, oh, they say Femi say so on this happened. Tune into the dinner now. Here she is. She's saying it all. Femi, back again into Parliament. This Parliament is important. The Speaker of the House, Honorable Abbas Cherno Bundu, is said for say that the reason, you know, say the reason, and the try for paraphraser now regarding this
Yes.
proportional representation. He said the idea that it already there inside the constitution, which makes it a law, is non-debatable. Apparently, if you look at from a different context, it may say something else, or intentionally, he put out that word day like red meat to the supporter them because people
Yes.
fly away with that day.
Yes.
And then before you know, there's confusion all over the world regarding what happened at Parliament on that day. I wonder you want to throw light on that as well so that we will understand because you are there and you pay attention to them thing and they enlighten we back.
Yes. And let me go through and back. What happened after the war? There were no constituencies. There was none. And that was why the PR system was used then. So waiting then they say that is this 38 and this 38A. Now this government, with the help of these provisional results, have already planned, at least we know of 2 districts. It's very easy really for follow-on. Once you then institute Bandajuma and Panguma, it means now you get for cut new constituencies. Yes, it was in the law books during the wartime. But right now, we have constituencies. So that particular provision cannot kick in until you willfully obliterate the constituencies. That particular provision will kick in when there are no constituencies and the speaker knows it. They are setting the stage for themselves. The actors that are already in costume. They are just waiting for let them verify the census results. Yes, there are more people in Bo and Kenema. Yes, there are less people in wherever and wherever. And therefore, we must do boundaries. This is how it is going to play out. Talk and say we don't tell Una. If that bill passes, that is their route. Then they say, term not there for cut constituencies. We are then left constituent-less. And we have no alternative but to go with the district block PR system.
So what do you think? You think say the bill go pass?
Well, I dey pray. If not to be for big guy, I've been for fast.
Good one. Goodness, Femi, you're good. This brings me come to the question of COPP. I know say you touch on a little bit because people then try for associate your action with COPP, forgetting that you are the founder and the leader of a bona fide, duly registered political party. Yeah, I know. I mean, when you confuse, it's almost like the Babel of Tower, biblically speaking. People get confused and start speaking in different tongues and forgetting the real issue. So you've been speaking in behalf of your party and not COPP, and you mentioned that, say, when Dr. Dennis Bright turn up, he'd be even surprised at what he see they happen. So COPP had nothing to do with this. But, yeah, I know. Having said this, I'm sure, again, you will have seen papers all around the rumor mill talking about COPP not registered as a political party, but now acting as one, then registered as a different entity. I wonder whether you're able for Rob Mott Panande for we small, little bits.
No, I want.
You want water in Cham and Hengam.
Hey, Papa.
The floor is yours. Wipe the floor clean, please.
Now, there are 2 organizations. There is an organization called APASL, and there is an organization called COPP. The government, the chairman of the SLPP, Prince Harding, is the deputy chairman of APA-SL. APA is as much a loose organization as is COPP. COPP went ahead and we do this incorporation in order that we can have a bona fide bank account. We do not need anybody's permission. Not PPIC, not NEC, not executive branch, not the judiciary. We do not need their permission, sir. We went ahead and incorporated primarily so we could open a bank account. People are not like for the give money to individual. They prefer for the transfer money go to bank account. We went through the process. The man himself signed it. And all of a sudden, those in power got wind of it. But it was not a secret. I posted it on my Facebook. I posted it on my Twitter page. And they decided to delegitimize our incorporation. But let me tell them, COPP no dey go nowhere, sir. Nice try. We're going to keep money on the mattress. COPP goes nowhere. COPP will continue with all this attention on and create all these negative vibes. It will come over open then. COPP is going to go from strength to strength under my leadership. By God's power, COPP will transform itself into a formidable coalition. So you can play with the law like a plasticine, you can mold it, you can try to shape it, you can sit on it, you can vomit on it. But the truth is going to prevail come 2023. If you have done your due diligence for the people of Sierra Leone, run on your record. And the people will give you a second chance. But when you hear the cries of the people, and instead of you listen, you shove cotton wool inside you, yes. You arrest the women, you whip them. Your ops, your LUC of your petrol station, they flag woman, they cost the woman, they like I say, you know get mama, you know get sister, you know get auntie. A day shall declare it.
Okay.
A day very soon shall declare it. I'm on a countdown.
Wow. Wow. I can only say wow to that. Just before I move on to Sister Janet for ask a further question, I want to ask this, Femi. Obviously, you seem not for where no fear or harbor any fear, and it seems like you don't commend yourself to the new role, like I said from the beginning, which has been bestowed upon you, and you've taken up that mantle, and you speak with no degree of fear. Are you putting up a brave face where you did at the cameras and where you go at the background? You suddenly get a shoulder drop and a head drop, and it's like, now whose kind of business I don't come put myself?
Are you kidding me?
you know, the moments where I mean then I'm also the police and surround me also. When I went on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
My daughter called me and I said, Nadine, I'm going to CID. And my daughter goes, Mom, you're part of the resistance. Mom, resist.
Really?
Yes.
She says resist. And family members call my sister, she's in the US right now, and call my daughter and all my family members, people are calling them. And those that know me say, and I went to CID and I did 5 days in CID. And one person posted on me Twitter page that how the markets na CID, as if to say for provoke me, say I go CID. Yeah. And if you look on my Twitter page, I responded. I said I went to CID and yes, I learned a lot. I met women who had been there for almost going to 2 months and some days. Yes. I don't care what the crime was. That is not justice at work. I met a woman there who had been there for 20, she's done now, I've been out for 4 days, so she's done about 24 days. She has been there. I have seen the failure of our policing. I saw the failure of our judiciary. I came out more determined. I came out humbler. I was never a very proud person in the first place, but I came out humbler because the women took care of me. Then they put water for me, and they go inside, it go not hang with towel for me. And I was coming from a position of privilege. They could have just snubbed me, but they embraced me. And they go there every day, where I go sign and they go up. And they hug me and they kiss me. And I came out, if I can say that, a better person. So to IG Savola, I say again, thank you.
Have you met him? Have you met IG Savola in person?
On more than one occasion, sir.
What does he look like? I mean, in character, in behavior, in mannerisms. Give me a picture of this IG where we get. Some of we now wait till they read about him, probably he's a good man, and people then just decide for smear him. You've met him, like you say, on several occasions. Give us an idea, please, if you will.
Well, okay, let's tell you one scene.
Yeah.
Tell me and Diana go there. Where women accompany Diana in their numbers. Now, I they tell you exactly what happened. I'm sorry, I used to act when I was in Sunday school. So I will do a bit of dramatics right here for you. So then don't tell and say the crowd then a do front headquarter they mean they sing and waiting, no matter where come on, who by the way are still coming to court ever so often and their case has still not been completed. Out comes our IG. I don't know if you they see me fine.
Yeah, we see you.
Una tear gas them. I just tell una. Una tear gas. I thought the man was going to have a heart attack. So if I am to make an assessment, I think he's a man that is severely overwhelmed.
Wow.
I think he's a man that is, and you know what? Let me tell you, people like Savola, people like Ben Kelfala, people like those in the judiciary, I am not sure what their background is, right? That I don't know whether there's a certain situation where a man resigns. Then you get to a certain position where you weigh up position, money, or integrity. These people are all battling with those three things. For me, there comes a point where I will rather resign than be so compromised that tomorrow, and before the Sunday morning, before police car invited me to go CID, I was talking to my sister and my daughter, and my sister in Nigeria, my sister in America. We were all on a three-way call. And my sisters had had a conversation prior to calling me, and they said, Femi, we not think say you for match with the woman then. We not think say it's safe, Femi, for let you match. All three of them. Now I say, okay, I hear you. Now I want you to hear me. I said, number one, the women came to me. At that point, if I knew Anomingedi's stomach, I would have told them, don't do it. I said, but it was their determination that I saw. And I told my sister and my sisters and my daughter, I said, think for a minute. For Femi, I can have easily, there were maybe over 15 or 20 lawyers focused on me alone. I said, these are women who not even get a single lawyer in number self now in contact. He said, for me, you, Nadine, you are 35 years old, you are living your own life in the States. My son is 22. He's living his own life. He's working, doing his own thing in the States. What do I have at risk? My only risk is my life and my liberty. There woman there, yeah, get picking there, then a widow, markets not they sell, they no get better even home accommodation, they no get motoka, me get 2-pack na ya. What is my risk in comparison to their risk? Am I not in a better position to leave them and shield them than for me to pull out? I said, not only that, I said, my family. I said, tomorrow morning, it means if I not match, I'm not going to brush my teeth, I'm not going to style me with on, I'm not going to tie me hair tie, because I'm not going to look myself in my own glass. I said, so tell me now, shall I match? Femi, go ahead and match. Will they pray for you? So there comes a point where the IG should look at his own situation and think to himself, tomorrow I get for brush me teeth. Let me resign peacefully. Now go enjoy my retirement. He's beyond retirement.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. You know, beyond retirement, you don't pass 70 or so.
So
And
if this kitchen, when the kitchen don't want to this extent, pull out. I
but
mean,
you
after
said
2018 election, losing the election, I could have pulled out. I could easily have pulled out. I don't lost. I spend good money. I don't lost. Then dance for me, then sing for me, but then not vote for me. I could easily have pulled out. But then you ask, what was your motivation in the first place? Was it purely about winning? Or was it about being a voice? About being a representative? And look,
political parties are not all about just winning elections. They've got
thank you.
more work for do apart from winning
Thank you.
elections and going to parliament and what have you. Yeah, people
Yeah,
need.
and the next time they invite me, we talk about the PPRC lower the 1+2, which is to deregister political parties because we'll not get 0.2% in an election. They want to deregister us. That's another conversation for another day.
Yeah, sure. Femi, just on that same note, it's all like blame on the government. Do you think that the opposition themselves gets there some responsibility as to the way how things, eventually take shape in the country, or at least bear some responsibility as opposition, not just the government alone?
Look, let me tell you this, quite honestly. I think politicians have failed the people in Sierra Leone since 1961, when I was born. We have been failing the people. And trust is very thin on the ground. And that is why people will publish all these things about me too. Because me na soup where they not taste. All they know is they get for take the same broom for sweep we all. And they're justified. Let us be honest. They are justified. Promises are made and promises are never kept. Or kept in part. Let us be truthful. And we have trained our electorate to emphasize on all the wrong things. We have trained them to expect in return for votes. We've trained them. Now we trained them. It didn't just happen by accident.
Yes.
So and sometimes even within COPP, when members of COPP get really frustrated, I tell them that we shouldn't be frustrated now until we are able to show people a different society.
Yes.
Until we can actually deliver on some basic promises. Until people can begin to see a difference in their lives. You know, police stop you and ask you for 1 cent. Why? Because he's well paid. So if you only pay the cabinet ministers and you only pay the judiciary and you only pay this, and then you don't pay them, police, those people where they arrest we and waiting, They get 900, 800,000 a month. A bag of rice is 520. So until they begin to see a difference, Sierra Leone begin to crystallize into a country, they're not going to have trust in any politician. I don't care which party you are from. Now,
Yes.
if snake don't bet you, they run.
Yes,
Come
can
on.
I inject something quickly?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You know, the one thing now we need for the teach people, I mean, they've seen 4 years of hardship and the elections they come next year. Well, our point of teaching now is the decision where you make, now you go reshape the years ahead of you. If you vote well, you know, basic services will be provided. If you vote wrongly because they don't give you small thing a corner, that small thing they're not able to help you because you go run out before even the election they done. So it's the matter of saying to them, it's the duty for Una. When I get this power, I think what is happening in Sierra Leone is that people do not understand, say, this power now we get them. You are giving it to somebody for a number of years. Before you give them that power, they ask yourself, is it possible we can develop this country? Let us take away this supremacy of tribe. Because I read now one article about Nigerian person right. It say in Africa, it is not really voting on the principles where they underpin democracy. We are voting on the line of supremacy of tribes. You know,
Yeah.
so as long as supremacy of tribes thrive, we're not going to ever get the correct people. And that saddens me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
just for add to that, um, um, we talk about free and quality education, and this is because this is because we want to move away from what Sister Janet say, because an informed people, an educated class of people, are
Yes.
taught on how they for think, not to waiting people and want for let them think. We na
Yes.
sort of a control measure. So we are missing the point, and those of us where they praise, I see reports begin come out 81% or 91% results and what have you. And then suddenly the problem of education, which has been ascribed to, 10, 20, 30 years along the line, because of one result, God, hopefully that results they correct. Suddenly, there is this massive change that has arrived. But yet they churn out graduates, but you don't have jobs for them. You are opening
Okay.
hospitals and you don't have representatives or professionals to go and work those hospitals. This nine Janet, they say, and most people go resonate with that. This is the highest trickery of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Because why again? We people do not get the message and they need to get up.
Yes.
Sister Madam Femi Claudius Cole, I will let you weigh in on this because I guess you get it. You know exactly what it is.
No, there was a time when the Minister of Basic actually called us to a meeting. It was a very interesting meeting. It was just before last year's MPSC. And what they're doing now, actually, Vicky Remo did a beautiful piece on this. Is basically what women they call when they mark on a curve, where they aggregate, then bring the very high scores can down and then bring the low scores can up. Is basically what they've done. I took common entrance. And I remember coming either 4th or 5th in the country. That was a very long time ago. I agree.
Absolutely. That was
But
4
I
years.
remember,
That was 4 years before me.
I remember that our scores then were something in the region of the high 300s to 400s. Now would have been the average score that we'll be getting those days. Now, it is even unfair to the top 3 students that are being celebrated now. Then picking and then they receive the accolade where then they give them, but their heart's not sweet. Because those are the ones that their scores have been lowered in order for them to be able to bring the lower scores up. And one thing that I did ask the Minister of Basic, I said, Mr. Minister, how did you get to Harvard? Was it by grading you on a curve? I don't believe you did. Or MIT or whichever Ivy League you went to. But so what we have done for our kids, because the failure rates would be so explosive, they have compressed it. So the scores, even to last year, the scores are lower. And I know even last year, some of the kids were devastated. Parents were asking for their kids' grades to be remarked. So we're trying to fix the education problem. I know they're trying their best. But you're grading kids, you're now artificially inflating your pass rate when your scores are actually lower. I don't see what our net gain is. Because as Janet is saying, you're then producing graduates who cannot compete. They cannot then compete. So are you doing our children a service or a disservice? I am open to opinions. But as I look at what is happening in all layers of our education system, it is very sad. For a country that was known as the Athens of West Africa, we were known for excellence, not mediocrity.
And Femi, then the question to ask, the question is, where did we go wrong? What happened to us?
Where did we go wrong?
Yeah.
I know where we went wrong. I know. I can answer this question. By putting square pegs in round holes, by employing only your friends and your buddies.
Who don't have the material to work.
Who do not have the material to work.
Yes.
Who do not have the passion for the job.
Yes.
It's all about the position, the power, and the money.
Yes. What can we do now? I know you have the answer, so that's why you were there. That's why
we have a coalition. A coalition that is not based on region.
Yes.
It is not based on tribe.
No.
Political parties coming together, bring your best ideas. Let us collaborate for once in our life.
Yes.
Let us seek and give advice for once in our life. Yes. I don't care if you were the biggest financial contributor. You're not fit for being Minister of Finance. You will not be.
Yes.
Even if you speak English back and front, upside down, with all the accents and all the this, if you're not fit for purpose.
Yes.
Until that moment comes when the coalition wins and the coalition decides that this SFPP man, this man who we all know say party card, is the best for that position. Yes. We look beyond his whatever and give him the position.
And give him because he's got the knowledge.
And give him.
Yes.
And give her.
Yes.
Until that moment comes.
I understand that. So that's why we need to fight. Let's keep fighting.
Okay. Very, very interesting. I mean, when they come towards the end of the program, I mean, I wish we start this program.
It's a very short program, right? It was a very short program.
Yeah, I promise you, until Janet can join the program, and I warn you that.
Yeah. They said,
however, we are thankful to you.
Going to be on the program. I said, please pluck me in quickly.
We are really thankful to you that at least the time is not wasted, and this is not a duty. It's a call of duty upon every one of us. It's difficult, which leads me to my next sentiment. It's a kind of sentiment I want to express, which is we are say we people are not prepared. And time is of an essence.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you, Janet, we don't have long time around. Even though we can get this word in, 40, you would just arrive and the best of rah, rah, rah. Well, of
Mm-hmm.
course, that's a feel-good factor. We understand that. Is that
Yes.
they give you a little jab and you feel high for a moment, and then that jab goes away, and then you come to ground reality, ground
Mm-hmm.
zero. But the reality here is on a more serious note. We don't have a
Yes.
longer time here. And we country, this is my own perspective. You may disagree with me. It's not really making progress because people that want to make progress or see the country make progress are being, yes, suppressed. Are being suppressed. So let me take with guest Naya for example tonight, Madam Femi Claudius Cole, championing the cause for liberty, championing the cause for justice, championing the cause for unity, championing the cause for social inequalities. Them. But yet, the police will always send her an invite and she will go in and they will detain her, intimidate her. And we read the story about the IG himself, the big boss of bosses for the police. Una tear gas them, una tear gas them. Now, can you imagine this? How will a police boss be so reckless? Because sometimes when you hear him, if it's like joke, or hear the woman is expressing it herself because she's been at the front of the battle. She's
She has
seen
experienced
what
it.
we call a
Yeah.
battle. Yes, Janet?
I said she has experienced it firsthand.
Firsthand,
You know,
yes.
and you know the mistake where they don't make, they don't allow Femi Claudius to go inside prison because they are only go. So she comes out armed. You see what you don't do to her. You know what you don't do to her. No, you restrict her because when you restrict her, you empower her.
But the
And
fear,
Janet,
the fear,
Janet,
the fear in
Janet, you're
me,
so right. All,
the fear in me. Yeah, carry on.
all they needed to do was allow the women to march. IG just give them protection. We don't march done, we don't done, don't forget about we. It
Absolutely.
would have been so simple.
Yeah, but
It
Femi,
would
I
have been.
hosted a program day before yesterday where the subtitle of that program it be regarding protests, and the subtitle was "Why are governments scared?" In other words, of protests,
Mm-hmm.
marches,
Mm-hmm.
demonstrations,
Mm-hmm.
things that are enshrined in the
In our
Constitution: the
constitution.
right to assemble, the
Yes,
right to associate, the right to express your opinion. Femi, I
yes,
want to let you weigh in on this because at some point we been get this cover close where they call the Riot Act, where they say, well, they don't pull them or section of it, section 5, and then bring in the cyber crime law. Which one is worse, or what's the difference? What's the change, if there's any?
There's none because for me the Public Order Act where they talk about where journalists can print something and they arrest them.
mm,
Those were things that were in the recommendation from the TRC report and the removal of the death sentence.
yes.
You know, the death sentence. Those are all just cosmetic things because one of the media people actually come out and say this very Kaloko guy. Then kill people in a McKinney above, then kill people in a Lausanne above, then kill people in a prison above. So now when they go match and go kill una back above. Now una picking and go cry for una. So that mentality, why are they scared? They're scared of people marching because they know they have failed. Because they know they have failed. If that was not the case, it would have been then I post back now my Facebook page the scene from their women's election in Kailau.
Sorry, I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. But it looks like an issue with the router and echo device.
Sorry.
So try restarting.
There was they went them in a match na Kailau. Where them in a match na Kailau, where the woman them in mass, they go say, not to vote, we vote you, na maye di maye do. I don't know if you've seen that scene.
Yes, of course, I get the video.
Yes. There was not a police in sight.
No.
There was not a gun in sight.
Mhm.
Nobody was flogged.
No.
Nobody's head was split open. Nobody was arrested.
Mhm.
Nobody was invited to CID.
Yes.
That is the reason they're afraid of having any one of us march and protest.
Mhm.
It is the truth that they wish they don't have to deal with. Their plan is just to see how best we can craft this thing. Let me take the constitution like a plasticine, we make a mash, and hopefully, Papa God, hopefully we can just scale through and win the next election
Mhm.
and continue to suppress the people.
Mhm.
Hello?
Hello, is there a growing disillusionment in the country among them people there who you name, so that even though government is not going to tolerate you then dissenting views there, is there a
Yeah.
growing sense of togetherness, people and they gravitate more towards the voice of dissent and then will begin to defy these sort of things?
Yes, yes. And even now, that Namika, they say to the people who are listening, who are their people,
Okay.
when una come for car arrest me or any of the other woman them, that's not the time to send the commissioner for peace. The time to engage is now. The time to engage self don't pass. It all late. For me, the deed is already done. The die is already cast. There is nothing now that you can do to for the cash, for the education, for the health, for the low salaries. Even our doctors are planning on striking.
Mhm.
The doctors are planning a strike. They've given them the ultimatum. Your country is crying and you are busy flying all over the place doing what I ask. What, oh Lord, are you doing, sir?
Probably
What,
long-term projects. Maybe you won't see it now. Maybe you might see it in 10 years, 15 years, long after this president is gone. Femi, would they come close to the program? No one keep you until 12 o'clock with your own time and Sister Janet. Just quick burst of short questions and etc. Janet, I wonder whether you want to weigh in on anything. I get a few questions for Madam Cole.
Yes, I just want to say to Madam Claudius, this um this thing where you don't pick with your hand, no drop them at all, regardless of who comes at you or whatever you hear in the media. Some of us are out here, you know, quietly they fight behind the scenes. But what you to do so, you're not doing it for yourself. Because you were born with a silver spoon that you must, I know you to eat. You the do it for the ordinary person out there when not able to afford nothing. People they drop and die out of hunger. People are sick when they're not able to buy medication. They die out of poverty. So you're not supposed to make a conscience. You are doing this with a conscience because you believe say we're all equal in our life. Now only because of the way the country they run, and that makes certain people defend themselves and defend themselves. So you are doing a job when nobody not going to pay you for your life. Continue to do what you know best.
I will try.
Thank you. Be strong. Continue to be strong. Prince, are you there? I think we have lost Prince for a little bit there.
I think we're lost
Oh, okay,
Prince.
okay. Sorry, I'm
No,
here.
he's now
I'm back. I'm back.
we lost our host. Oh my goodness.
That's all right. Thank you very much. Well, Femi Claudius School, the atmosphere is becoming toxic by the day. Social scientists, political scientists, they do understand as the price is looming, the bigger price is looming. I mean, we're gravitating towards that date, that time, that all important date, those that potentially are seeing like power they slip out of their hands, like you described to we earlier on, they will only become more desperate in them actions. Waiting you see get for potentially happen between now and August in the first place, because now one of the first litmus tests that one day. What are your thoughts between now and August? What do you think say get for play out speculatively? What do you think, Madam Cole?
I think the intimidation is going to increase. I think arbitrary arrests will definitely increase. I think those of us in the forefront are going to have to watch over our shoulders a little bit more. People are going to be more guarded of their own personal safety and personal space. My family is especially worried. I don't get bodyguard, I don't get, na me and my driver no more can move. But I think that comes with the territory. It's a little concerning, and there's a lot of people express a lot of fear and concerns about one's safety.
Yes.
Because a desperate man is a careless, reckless man. He can do anything.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, there are things I never used to do before that I do now. I lock my room at night. I lock it, at least, say the broke and don't go down.
Yeah.
I don't. I usually my driver goes home like 6, and I drive myself. Once in don't go, I drive myself the rest of the day. If I go party, I go any function, I drive myself once he's gone home. But now I have 2 drivers driving shifts. So even if it's a late night event, I'm still driven. So all those small adjustments. My gate in my house was, any 2-year-old West Abidu Lily pole vault can just, pole vault over my gate, and I'm reinforcing that just so that I have a little indication of time between the time somebody comes in to do something untoward. I have at least a heads up, so at least I can make a call to say, I've been attacked or whatever. So I think a lot more about my own personal safety, because you and I go, really, you have the easy way out, but the people you leave behind, your kids,
absolutely,
siblings, friends, stuff like that. So one cannot afford to be blasé as I used to be. So.
Okay, Femi, part of the place where you derive your courage and strength and determination and you name it from is a lot of people don't come for believe say you are kind of internationally connected, in the sense that since you are politically active and the international community, some of us on the outside believe are active in the Sierra Leonean sense in itself. They are monitoring, looking at things that is happening. I wonder whether you can chime out Fernande a little bit whether this is true, that the international community is actually active in Sierra Leonean affairs, politically speaking, like how you talk about the World Bank and the midterm census, where clearly they show say, well, we're not able to now on this, but in other aspects of we political, social, and cultural life, are they with us, the people?
The international community has been instrumental in so many areas, whether all good or some bad. They've really been instrumental, and we've had a lot of engagements with them where we actually question some of the things that are done, like the people who do the MCC scoring. We question that. Is it that you are not aware of, you're scoring them high on human rights things when they're actually human rights violations are on the increase? So, and their bodies like the EU that really fund our elections, a huge part. A lot of them fund, and they're not blind. They listen to the news, they see what's happening, they engage. They're very much aware of a lot of things that are going on. But they then also remind us they're diplomats.
Yes.
They're not Sierra Leoneans, they're diplomats. There are boundaries, you know, and they also have concerns for the less fortunate, that there's some things that we will do that maybe opposition people may not like us to do, but we have to do because we know how poor people are.
Yes.
And we cannot just automatically withdraw so many things that you say, when they talk this, but then when they fund this, when they do that, but then when they fund this. So they're between a rock and a hard place.
They are indeed.
So that you can't say because of this, you put sanctions on Sierra Leone, because who will suffer? Again, it'll be the poor.
Yes.
So it comes back to what Janet was saying, in that when you vote, but how do we get them to think critically? Thinking critically is a very sophisticated sense. It's not common. How do we get them to ask the politicians the hard questions before they make their selections? And you look at a T-shirt and 10,000 leons and you think, say, nah, nothing. Why you go give you vote up for one T-shirt, one polo, and 10,000? 10,000 can be a lot of money to somebody who has nothing.
Yeah.
Has nothing. So I understand where they're coming from. I really do. And that is the reason why I am committed to the consortium. I am totally committed to the consortium, in that if we all come together,
yes,
the APC, the NGC, the UP, the PDP, the PMDC, we all come together, we can checkmate one another.
yes,
We can represent the country. My stronghold is in the southeast. Your stronghold is in the north. Your stronghold is Western area. Your stronghold is this. Your stronghold is that.
yes.
We're all going to be watching out for the country, because we're all coming together. That's why I feel that a strong coalition is the way to go.
Yeah, and Madam Femi Claudius Cole, this sounds very much like an appeal, other than waiting. Some of the supporters of COPP will have thought or will be thinking. In other words, the coalition a day together, and una resolve still strong as from the very beginning, the commitment to una been get, because there was this consensus about this coalition that the way out things they go politically, una need for come together for remove this party off power, and then una can decide how to go forward. Does that still remain the same? Or
Yes.
okay.
And I think our resolve is much stronger now, because the writing is on the wall. We cannot leave the people without an alternative. And the days of it just being this, look, the party in power has no good intentions for the opposition. They have none. We actually saw the dismantling of the APC. The dismantling, even after the, you know, so, and in COPP, we get this policy say, if the next party in host the born, you go find water. You're not going to be gloating and boasting that somebody else's house is on fire. You're going to help to put the fire out, because the embers are going to be all over. It's not going to be confined to that one political party. So, I mean, we hope to see a stronger APC come out of this and come into the APC is part of the consortium, but we are hoping that they're going to come out with a more cohesive, a stronger political party, that we're all going to be able to really work together and have each other's back and actually listen to each other's voices, opinions, and everything. And I already see that beginning to crystallize. We're working with the opposition MPs, bringing all the opposition MPs together, and I'm beginning to see that bond between the consortium, between the MPs, between each other. And I'm very, very hopeful. I'm really, really hopeful. And I think the biggest test of us working together is going to come with the registration, because I think we're going to try to really own the process. We're going to be a part of the process in September. We're going to mobilize our people, and we're going to be still working together. We're still hoping to do a tour of the North. We did a tour of the South, but we have not yet done the tour of the North. So I will be coming to all of you in all your platforms to really support us in fundraising measures so that the sensitization tour of the North will really have impact and really,
Absolutely,
really mobilize people to begin to really
absolutely.
focus on things that connect us rather than things that divide us.
Absolutely, we will be looking forward to that, and obviously, this platform will always offer you a place, here for you to table your ideas, them, and etc. And whatever we can do, we know it is in behalf of the country, so we are going to be standing up with you, shoulder to shoulder. Two questions quickly in one go. In your many travels, you've met the former president, Anes by Koroma. I don't know when last you meet him, but I know say one time when I've been there and this same COPP up and down, and when I visit McKinney and you see him. Was he in the best state of mind when you see him? And what did he say to you guys? Did you had a personal moment with him? Did you had a chance for ask him a question about the country generally and the path to which we they go?
No, I didn't have a personal moment. We met as a group, the entire COP. We all did short presentations, and I think I started the ball rolling, and then he ended it. He ended it by saying he was very pleased that the consortium had done 2 years. Then, at that time, we were 2 years old, and he believed in the core principles of the consortium, and he felt that working together was really the best way. And I think he was very supportive of what we were planning on doing. That was the last time we actually met him. We haven't met him since, but I know that what we're doing in COP is something that he himself thinks it's a good idea.
Again,
And
we
we've
did we
met.
see. Yeah, carry on, Femi. Sorry, carry on.
We met almost all the flag bearers. We met all of them. The
Okay,
flag
brilliant
bearers for
stuff.
2016. We met them,
Brilliant
and
stuff.
everybody
Brilliant
seemed
stuff.
positive. Mhm.
So again, there is so much to be done before elections, and everything a kind of timetable. Everything needs for be time scale in order for things to be successful. But in this case, it seems like we are way behind with a lot of things. How optimistic are you that we go able for meet up all the time scale events there are, so that we go able for hold or successful elections?
Those are the things that keep me up at night. Those are the things where Janet, when they ask, what are the things that make you just go like this? Those are the things. Those are the things that worry me. I worry about finance. I worry about getting the message out there. I worry about the basic logistics of right now. There's a training that I want us all to participate in at all levels, and then we're going to cascade it down. An NGO is really organizing a training to really teach our people a lot of things about not just our civic responsibilities, but about electioneering, where we should focus on learning about RRF forms and how, and that training starts very soon. And it's like, I think is it 1 million or 2 million per person? And I really want a lot of people to really attend that training. So I need a budget for that. We need money for that. And I also, as I said, we want to do a tour of the North because we have set up little cells of COPP where political parties are meeting each other and talking and relating for the first time. We met at PMDC's office, we met at APC's office, and all these political parties are like, the first time they started kind of APC office. If let me say I go kind of APC office, I go say, no lie. I go say, so so we're having that working together, and you suddenly realize that, wow, we all have the same challenges. Why are we spending so much energy, useless energy, fighting each other when we can actually do better, actually working together?
Mhm.
So and all these things cost money. I tell you, politics is expensive business. So we need to really have a dynamic fundraising arm. And one thing I can assure those who are listening, who might, be interested in actually supporting us, is We have a formidable finance person. 1 cent no they go astray. Trust me. Not a dime goes where it should be. So whatever you give, after every event, a financial report is done, and if there is money left over, it is brought back into the pool and utilized for something else. Will not they go and shape couple like I say Christmas don't come? No, sir, we don't do that.
All right.
So people can feel, comfortable donating to us. We're not building homes. We're not building bridges.
Okay, Femi.
We're not
said there.
And we're not flying.
Well said.
When I fly, I pay for myself.
Well said there, Femi. And obviously, like I say again, let's get the information and we are rolling with you. I got one question before I give Janet the floor. We don't bother me for quite a while, and I just need to understand and wonder waiting at your perspective or take on that. In other words, politically speaking again, between the two heavyweights, the two party them, this is the SLPP and the APC. The SLPP is said to be making inroads into the north, which seems to be very obvious and fact. And the APC is not making inroads into the south or southeast. And this obviously disadvantages the APC in terms of the nature of political things in the country. I wonder how true is this statement, and if it is true, how does it affect or how will it affect any outcome in the future? Example, 2023.
I think it is those are the critical issues that I know they spend a lot of time in the north. They have their tentacles there. They really want to pull votes there. And I think that what is happening with the APC now, who one would have expected would have been probably even done with the lower levels. Lower levels are not yet done. So we are behind schedule. We are all behind schedule. I am behind schedule in UP. I finally managed to get an office in Kenema. Finally, overpriced, but hey, I had no choice. I still need offices in other places. And they want to deregister us so they can disable us. I was actually planning on going to my convention. I had it all planned out. I had a date fixed. And then obstacles were thrown in my path. And then so many things just keep coming up at you. So I'm hoping that in the next month or month and a half, to have Unity Party have gone to convention and to have the members of the party sanction the coalition, give the okay, give the thumbs up that they're for it. We discuss it at all our meetings. We have a meeting at the end of each month. Every month, last Saturday, we have a meeting and they all know about it. I keep them all abreast about it. There's nothing that's a surprise to any one of them. So we're behind schedule. We really are behind schedule. The clock is ticking and it's ticking fast. So we all need to get onto our A game, all of us, all the political parties, UP, PMDC, APC, NGC too. I don't think they haven't completed lower levels either. They started and then they had one begging after the other begging after the other begging, and life happens. So I'm hoping that come the next couple of weeks, once we're done with all that we have pending, we can now focus. We know what Parliament is going to pass. We know what monster we're going to be dealing with, and we begin to really address all these issues. I worry about time. It's our enemy.
Yeah, Janet?
Yes. Actually, since you speak about time and being behind with a lot of stuff that you guys want to put together, there is just one thing that is clear. The people who are in the country who are struggling, they are very much aware. They know 2023 is the time to speak a clear language. A language that says, "Una clear out to no one." It's a simple language because and then they suffer. They know what they, we speak to people behind the scenes and we know what they tell us. Now, when we been go vote today, but because in life are we? Well, like, yeah, you don't clear. Yeah, you don't clear, like, you know, like to go. So I'm thinking that the people, even without we not tell them now, they are coming back. Like Prince talk about SAP making inroads in the north. I can understand that politics. The people are hungry. They want money. They go take any kind of thing. But when it comes to the final vote, I'm not saying they know why the allegiance lie. It's with the nation, not with the political party. Where they can go and buy them.
I mean, if money could win votes, they would have won in more of these by-elections. Trust me.
Well, that's true.
I mean, even in Kenema, they won by like 130 something votes. That was a close shave.
Anyway,
that's the electorate.
Where they call, where the president they pass them and they people say, which man, which man, which man, which man.
anyway,
on a serious note.
Yeah, we on a serious note. We are coming, Janet. Anyway, family, una when you watch the program, wake elect for call me foreigner Libya man. I'm glad this sister Janet there on the program, and from the beginning of this program, it tell una how we go Liberia at the age of 24. Miss SF go Liberia.
20. I was 20.
20, look at that. Miss SF go Liberia at a very earlier age than Janet. Me daddy go teach, go lecture at the University of Liberia for many years. Sister Janet happened for know me daddy and me brother. So just because you go Sonsa, you go stay the not make you a foreigner. But we know say even though some people then deluded, but others they believe because why they want to discredit me. You are a foreigner, damn Liberia man. Why did they put more for Liberia business? I don't know how much more to explain that. Man, we born at Dovecot number 32A Guard Street, right double decker bus, big wheel. I mean, then guess what? Some of the people when they tell me saying a foreigner, when you see their name, well, Father, forgive me for I know not what I speak. Anyway, Madam Femi Claudius Cole. Towards the end of this brilliant program, I go get for read few things the way people write, and then we end this brilliant program. But just before I go there, I be one let you rub multiple solution small. I know saying a big subject matter, but I'm not going to take you time more. But for cut and short, it's like with all of the things that we know, because some things in the where the enemy and another 10 for call the government an enemy, forgive me metaphor, where somebody they plan, other person they plan too. Somebody can they ahead of the planning, which gives you an undue advantage. Others can, they be in, and they self get some kind of an advantage. In other words, na kuku jumuku, we always see we self. You don't outline like what thing they happen inside parliament. Like deal with the get what thing they want to do, and I think say that was rejected somehow. But not me say they go give up. Then go re-wash them, re-overhaul them, and bring and come back again because it clearly did to their advantage. What would you say to people and for be prepared for such things? And even as we move towards 2023 elections, creating an awareness of potentially things that will not happen, things then that will potentially happen, how then get for go about them, waiting them for look for, in other words, a kind of safety guard. We go sort of prepare people for what is to come, because there's a lot to come. What are some of the safety measures then that we can take?
That's a really big area. Safety measures in that as they go towards election, or as they lead their daily lives.
As they lead their daily, or
no, I think if I forget a parting shot at any of this, is that
please take a parting shot at every one of them, because I know again the question is loaded and because we don't come to the end of time, but I been feel say we need for talk about solution and waiting we can tell with people for prepare them for what is to come.
And one thing when me go really say for most people will it definitely hinge on the registration. If I foresee any one big thing, look, for now, there are many skeptics out there. For cool people, they tell you, say, even when I go, when I was in CID, those 5 days, the women I stayed with, I was in lockup with, most of them had the opinion that they were never going to register and they were never going to vote again. That conversation is out there. It's big. And even with these by-elections, the voter apathy was really worrisome. So, and as Janet, they say, because of that lack of civic understanding of what that vote means to you, they've monetarized the vote. And people go actually physically tell you. Somebody tell me that today, yesterday I think I go ECOWAS Street, go shop. They would have paid me for my vote, now they vote for. So there's a lot of, but then how do we get the message out there? It's very complex in this little time that we have left. Who should be the messenger? If we all don't come together to actually deliver the message. They've had messages of hope before. They've had messages of promises, of change, of so many things. They have become desensitized, if that's the correct word. Really have a phenomenal job. And everybody now is fearful of their safety. Imagine it took the women, the market women, those who have a lot at stake, a lot to lose, to stand up and say, no, it's enough. And those are the women that I am hoping we will, now that we have come together and we have these experiences, we're stronger, we're tougher, we're braver, we're bolder. We're seeing how best these women can all come together. If we're going to be, if Nabi they be the kites, well, then we'll go fly. But we're really going to take a grip on the entire registration process and try to change people's minds into, I know they register, I know they vote.
Yeah.
I cook me one compressor, it's a go lay domona vote don't go wake me. No. By so doing, you have voted. By so doing, you have voted. So our biggest thing is, how do people still feel safe? How do we encourage people to not attack one another? I am trying to preach that Sierra Leone cannot afford to be a Rwanda. We cannot afford to be another Rwanda. The world is engaged in so many problems and everybody is trying to solve their own. Britain has theirs, Ghana has theirs, everybody has theirs. So people will not easily come to our rescue for a problem that we create by ourselves. So I want people to always realize that I want to hear less of an attack on Mendes as a tribe. I think it is wrong. Mende woman they buy the same price as Creole woman. Mende woman they buy this fish the same price. They buy oil 12,000 for pints, just like other people, everybody else. I think we really need to come together and close the divide. We need to really embrace each other, and COPP again is the forum for that. COPP is the only thing to do that. But as my last parting word, I really want to say is, I don't know how many people are on the show right now watching and how far
We
they
get
will
over
watch.
160 of us. And
I
it's
want to
been
really
live
say,
streamed. It's been live streamed simultaneously to Facebook and YouTube.
and people will watch it later.
Oh yeah,
So I want
thousands. That I can guarantee. Thousands.
I want to take this opportunity to say, on behalf of myself and the market women, I want to really say a very big thank you for the prayers. Not a single prayer for Nona Gron, Gop and Stone. All those prayers made a difference. Those who were hit had stitches, but no further injuries. Those who were whipped had the scars, but no deep cuts. So your prayers helped. And I want to really thank all those in social media who made audios, who made recordings, who poured out their hearts and their souls to us. I want to say a very big thank you to all in the international community, those who just stayed in their own space and just prayed and just wished us well, who said kudos to us. I just want, on behalf of the women and myself, to say a huge, heartfelt thank you to every last one of you, Sierra Leoneans at home and abroad. Thank you.
Right, Femi. I think just one or two more questions, and that's it for the end. But before we go there, it's going to be very short because it's like the wrap-up shot. But I forget one or two things. One of them, a demonstration will take place today. I mentioned them briefly, just briefly. And I shall say you endorsed that because that was in behalf of women. I'm highlighting the
I
same
watched
thing when we
all of it. I not come off what's me TV. I watch
I
from
don't
beginning
excite
to
you. I
end.
don't
But
excite
when they
you.
Allah, this they respond. I had
Yes.
the women with me. They were in my living room. We had it on, we put it on the big screen, and
Wow.
we were all shouting in response. And to those women, I say an almighty thank you. May God continue to bless all of you. Thank
So
you,
there we
thank you,
go.
thank you. We
So
felt
there we
so
go. There we
very,
go.
very, very good. Thank
Yes.
you, thank you, thank you. Amazing. Totally amazing.
So we want to tell Tigi Kaba for watching, and like we tell you, Madam Femi Claudius Cole, the title when they begin hip on you, it go fiba amper, just know you don't go able for bottom. You see this woman here, it say, thank you for hosting our mother of democracy. Can you
Mhm.
imagine this? Our
Yes.
mother of democracy.
Yeah.
And a new one.
Mhm.
Agatha Conte, thank you, sir. Abdoulaye Kamara, good evening from my side in Dunkirk, that's in France. My main man,
Wow.
Mr. Kuruma, I like your moderation. Thank you very much. And obviously, we have the ever brilliant Madam Femi Claudius Cole. Martha Bangura is watching from London. Fatmata Bangura is watching from Maryland, that's in the US. Tigi Kaba again, I have shared your program on many forums for our beloved hero, Madam Cole. Yashua Koroma, thank you very much. It's Medish Banks watching from Dubai. Wow. There we go. There will be a phone calling for contribution. No, we didn't open a phone call, but the next time we host Madam Femi Claudius School, we'll make sure that we open a phone call where you will be up close and personal and pose questions to her. I promise you guys that. Alarini Shaw, welcome. Otando Sise, I am watching from Sweden. There we go again.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm watching from the Bronx in New York.
New
Here we
York.
go.
New York.
Tigi Kaba. She is the Sierra Leone Mandela freedom fighter. Mohamed Kamara, Sierra Leoneans, wake up from your slumber and vote Unity Party come 2023. Richmond Kanu is watching. Fatmata Bangura, God bless Femi Claudius Cole. Ibrahim Kamara, Madman, Bio Government, Misdirection. Now, Hellfire, Bo them fit Bo for government, no saloon. Tigi Kabashi is my hero and eye opener to all Sierra Leoneans. Let's stand and fight for our rights. Ahmad Kanu, good evening, T and M Media Empire. Good evening, Mr. Ahmad Kanu. George Orwell, thank you, Madam Femi Cole, for your bravery and courageous stand to save our nation. You rock, man. Kadish M. K. Conte D. Hello, hello, hello to you. Thank you. Anita Kamara, more than 99 tactics. Oma, you are just one in a million women in this country. Megan Rogers, right? God bless you, Mommy Femi Claudius Cole. Keep fighting and stay strong. Abubakar Z. Sise, Allah bless you, ma'am. Bobby Brown, Madam Femi, is a true fighter. No amount of intimidation will make her back down. I love your enthusiasm because Africa politics is nasty. We are seeing it and facing
Oh,
it with
yes.
the new government. Mansaresia, hello, hello, Mansaresia. Anita Koroma again, exactly, ma, even with vehicles, same. Koroma Malama, much love, madam. God bless you. Prince Banya, you old, you not want to behave responsibly. The way you make you bed, so you go lay down on it. What a preposterous statement, Mr. Banya. But of course, we understand where you are coming from.
That's the
Anita,
participant. Yeah.
Anita Kuruma, God punish you all, surely. George is at your doors. Alhaji Sule Bangura, you na idiot. I think he was addressing one of these people that made a contribution. Koroma Mariama, think Sierra Leone first. Papani Kamara, they do not understand the law due to low level of education.
Yeah.
Mabiti say, you na party picking. Show respect to others. So Mabinti Sise been address that possibly talk that yeah, out of order statement. Anita Koroma, they will never think Sierra Leone is but themselves and party. Delwyn Thomas, good evening, Delwyn. Delwyn is watching all the way from Bangalore in Ireland. Papani Kamara, they are Dominion educated police. Ibrahim Kamara, you really made mad like madman Bio. You stupid Fokari Paopa misdirection guy. Usman Conte, greetings everyone. Greetings, Mr. Conte. Jaria Tujalo, God bless you, ma. Thank you for standing up for Mama Salone. TNN TV Empire, that was me. Good evening to all. Alareni Shaw, wow. Mohammed Kamara, God bless you, ma. Alareni Shaw, Anita Koroma, just forget those mean and selfish people, especially few women that think all is about them all the time. God ahead, man, not men them. Bobby Brown, Madam Femi, you are fighting for the common Sierra Leonean and also all Sierra Leoneans, but the SLPP hoodlums operatives are fighting back. Massey say my. Hello, boss lady. And I guess that's for you, Madam Cole. Anita Koroma, nonsense. Dr. Kolako, a loser like him. Don't bother him. He will never succeed in this country. Anita Koroma, indeed, Mark Kaloko is a cause in this country. God will surely punish them. Mabinti Conte, amen. Abubakar Kamara, what have you done for the people now? Anita Aminata Sawa or Sewa. Sorry if I pronounce your surname wrong, please. Abubakar Kamara, go and ask your ancestors. Anita Koroma, you check your profile. You people that have nothing to give to your country and people. Always are the women indeed, ma. Gwen Jonah, Femi Claudius Cole, you are amazing. Keep it up, but look after yourself. There we go. Delwyn Thomas, women and youths have to be at the vanguard of change in Sierra Leone. Exactly, brother Delwyn. This is how it's been the world over from time immemorial. Jocelyn Williams, Madam Femi, you remind me of Martin Luther King tonight. Your eyes have seen the glory of the Lord. This is preaching now. Thank you for all that you do. People take you for granted when you started, but here you are.
Yeah.
Lamzudi, God bless you, Mama Femi. Fatmata Bangura, what has your government done for the people of Sierra Leone after 4 years? Gwen Jonah, if your father was Claudius Cole with a surgery opposite CID, then say no more. Poverty was not your portion. This is interesting. Mariatu Anderson, God help Sierra Leone. Amen. Where are we now? Undo Mahai Mada Musa, unconstitutional, apparently responding to one of the observations that you made. Undo Madam Mahai Musa again, thank you. Abdul Kamara, Brother Koroma, Sister Musa, Madam Cole, they are going to deprive the general public from registering whilst they have prepared list of their imagination. Thank you very much for that contribution. Mercy say my strong governments are not afraid of critics and opposition actions. Their work speaks for them, not the police. Democracy is much about protests as it is about elections. The constitutional right of assembly, which includes demonstration, is not subject to the mood swings of the IG. Quite correct. I agree with that sentiment. Anita Kroma, may Auntie Philo, beautiful soul, rest in peace. Take heart, Dr. Kande. Well, this is it. We got a few more. So sad and pathetic for the criminals. Let them continue to hide the truth. More than the truth will come out soon. Mega Rogers right. Time will tell. Fatmata Bangura, well said. Femi, bravo. Friends with benefit, APC. The leader of Sierra Leone is not serious. But is the Speaker of Parliament start knowing himself now? Anita Koroma, PR system was used in 1996 due to the war. Calls for hard to reach places. Of course, Madam Femi Claudius Cole addressed that. No consensus with no accurate population. To crowd it all, or to crown it all, it was not successful and none is accountable to the people. Aha, got tired God, tire now language indeed. Cha normal. Malama Kalonani. I just love Madam Femi. Fatma Bangura, Opa regime, all the women in Sierra Leone should storm the CID. Well, we storm the CID, the word, I understand what you, I think I understand what you try to say. You know, mean I'm literally like for go take over the CID, but they forget and protest, then go team up before they and express themselves. Fatmata Bangura, stop the intimidation. I think I will stop here for now. I'll just read this last statement from Musa Kamara. Mr. Kroma, if your participants are sanitizing Sierra Leoneans, particularly those back home and are potential voters with 80% illiterate group, the sensitization is more effective if you use simple Creole language, as 95% will understand your vital messages. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Kamara. We get an international audience, and I'm not making no excuses for the English way they speak. Sometimes, you know, yeah, it just they jump inside me mouth, and my audience, me guest thinking falla. So for that, I apologize, but I agree with you absolutely, because predominantly the people that we want to speak to are Sierra Leonean. But Femi Claudius, we don't keep you for this long. But this is my last question to you. How optimistic are you, despite all waiting to go on? How optimistic are you 2023? My final question.
I am optimistic. I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic. I think the tone of the whole country don't change. And I think social media has played a very massive role in people, they acquire knowledge and becoming much more savvy about what's going on. I mean, you get misinformation, undoubtedly, but I'm optimistic. I'm really optimistic. And I think it's, if we're able to really form that coalition sooner rather than later and begin for really sensitize people, to let people know what are the tangibles, what are the things that we will be physically work or do. I think that would put us ahead of the curve. I really do. I'm optimistic. The thought of having this administration serve another 5 years is what my nightmares are made of.
Okay. I want to say thank you. I don't know whether Janet get one last word, because obviously she always takes the last word. Not in the form of question, just expression.
Yeah.
One last word?
Well, yes, you know, Madam
Sure.
Kulu mentioned something to do with security. We can't discuss that on the air, but I think to say, I think I agree with her. She's a member. We will go behind the scenes to discuss that. But I just want to say one thing, say that regardless of all these things really hang around you, you and the market women of Sierra Leone will not pave the way for all the women. Because as we said in the beginning, they say they want to give 30% for participation in the political space. And now when we get one woman waiting up say, I am here, I will be seen, and I will be heard. When I go after them, they made a big mistake. Because what they've done now is they have now given us the power and the will to go after them in the sense that we want to sensitize the people them, we tell them, say, we want a different country. A country where get leaders them, where get conscience. Them why I wanna get then they pass unconscionable conduct. Then they thief from una for benefit themselves. You know, if that Korean are the right Korean, forgive me, you know. But what I'm saying is they're taking from the poor to support themselves, which is wrong. You know, so honestly speaking, as you go tonight, you go to your bed, remember you have women who are going to be standing with you shoulder to shoulder. Although some of the issues are going to be discussed behind the scenes. I just want to say to you, give my love to the market women and say they have fans out there. I am their number one fan and I love you. Femi Claudius.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I will tell them.
Many thanks. You get an ambassador and a go-between who will convey your message to the woman in direct. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of a fantastic show with the evergreen, ever brilliant Femi Claudius School, the rising star of Sierra Leonean politics. the new matriarch, as Unakiyeri from the description tab. And many titles have been ascribed to her. I want left you with this thing, Femi Claudius School. I remember then days, the new cathedral, who they go to the church for go make service. Now they can sing there will be the sing. It's so essential to what we talk about here tonight and forgive you God in guidance and blessings. And this is it. Fight the good fight with all thy might.
And never cease to fight.
Lift up your eyes and face all the phases. Look at all the phases.
Yes. Awesome.
Right. I think so we will end on there for tonight as such. And that was dedicated to Femi Claudius Cole. Fight the good fight. Lift up thine eyes and look at all the phases. Christ is by your side. And thank you so much. And Fambulem, we will bring Claudius Femi Cole again and we will open a direct line for let you talk to Femi Claudius Cole. Because I know say a lot of people are yearning for Mita, talk to her. And I know say I've been getting one or two people and we've been talk about calling. But of course, this was never a calling program. We'll not be one to disturb the flow. But we get one way they come up. Thank you so much, Claudius, and I must let you go. Much respect,
Okay.
much love. Take care of yourself. Until then.
Good night.
Thank you so much. We love you.
Yeah.
Love you too.
Yes, Sister Janet, well done for helping to co-host the program. And Fambulem, this is the end of the program. But we'll not forget on Sunday coming, we get a lot. We get a lot when they come on Saturday. We get Logos Koroma will be on the program on Saturday with the powerful Superman who will be interviewing Logos Koroma, who had said very little since they lost power. So it will be interesting for let you tune in and hear the questions that will be posed to Logos Koroma and the answers that he's going to be providing. On Sunday, they hope for host Mr. Mohammed Warise. But generally, what we want to talk about, it might be a monologue if you join the program. Of course, then it becomes a dialogue. But we want to talk about the redenomination. What we know, what we don't know, and what we supposed to know about this new money we then print. Quite interesting, isn't it? And then during the course of the new week, we forget with Sister Baby Siri and Kamara, with the champion FGM, and they go there on this platform for we can talk a little bit about Bondo business and keep the drum and lose the knife. Maybe I will go for bring Sister Janice come back inside that program there because I might feel inconvenient for talk about some things. Then I'm a Christian. Sister Janice, one last word before I let you go.
Well, you know, tonight's a very brilliant night. I feel so empowered as a woman. And I know say my heart lies in Sierra Leone. I'm looking forward to returning to a country where I was born. I don't spend 40 years of my life away from home. You know, time to go back to my own backyard. And everything who they do out here, an overriding objective is to return home. And then share the knowledge we have done Ghana out here with the people. And, you know, that's my that's my goal. And I just pray, you know, the women of Sierra Leone, the market women, and the outside world will continue to support this fight going forward. And to you, I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to to come up here and run my mouth. And thank you. Let's do this again soon. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
friends.
absolutely. Absolutely. We will do it again soon. It's always a pleasure for have you as a co-host on the program because you bring a special angle to the program. You may not understand it now, but it really does. Your voice and your retrospection, your perspective, it does bring a different angle to it. So thank you so much. And I'll see you again shortly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good night, sister.
Good night.
Yeah. Okay, Fambul, and that is it. We've come to the end of another brilliant Then and Now Media Empire program. we dey aspire na this particular program for provide information we go educate with people so that decisions that they make will be based on informed decision. The choices that they make will be based on informed choices then we provide for them, inform information then we provide for them. I don't know, I've spoken too much tonight, so I'm getting tongue tied. And this tells me that it's about time that we end the program. But I'm very grateful for having all of you for tuning at this particular point in time. And I hope so when I go begin for wind down, because on both platforms, the number don't come down from over 200, a little bit over 200 to 110, 108 right now as we speak. So I'm about to wind down, so I can begin for leave the channel now respectfully, so it don't look like they are sign out on Una. But when I check out the program again on Saturday, it's going to be brilliant one with Logos Koroma. On Sunday, redenomination, what we know, what we don't know, and what we need to know. The redenomination, the new Leons. Thank you so much to all. It's a great pleasure every time we want to tune in at this platform. I am so excited for Havuna. And this has been the Then and Now Media Production. And I'm Prince Emil Krumah. Until then, tadas. Oh yeah, goodbye.